Market extending gains here this morning on potential progress coming from the U.S. and Iran. It looks like some talks scheduled could take place as soon as today to get some sort of arrangement worked out. We'll keep an eye on any comments coming across here this morning. Meanwhile, Intel taking the entire chip sector on its back here this morning and lifting everything to the upside. Look at a semiconductor. It's going to be higher. A better part of 30% move here for INTC to the upside. Overall, the market benefiting as well, both the Nasdaq and the S&P 500. Was reading this morning. For the month, we're still nicely positive. S&P could go green here for the week. Nasdaq is green for the week, but I was reading this morning for the Nasdaq specifically, best April so far since 2023.
Okay.
Better part 9.5% to the upside, a mere 9.5% in April alone here for the Nasdaq, and obviously we still have a week left, so things have been okay.
And that was like the beginning of the AI tailwind, right? ChatGPT, October, November 2022, and here we are 3 years later.
Still benefiting.
There's no bubble yet, Brendo, at least not yet. So good luck here.
Yeah, no, but I mean, this is an absolute monster report. I mean, the guys were talking about it after 4 o'clock last night. Absolutely. Just blowing out numbers right across the board. I mean, the EPS number is just almost laughable.
2,800%. 2,800%.
Like, how does that even? I don't know. And then the Tesla deal on top of it that we mentioned yesterday. Just everything is all signs point to the upside.
It feels like the ball is rolling in Intel's way here. Remember the 14A node? Everybody was laughing about it. This is a joke compared to Taiwan Semi. All of a sudden, they've got an anchor client in Tesla. We'll see if it goes through. But this is a fantastic report, guys. We're obviously going to get to it on the rundown. But just to show you here quickly, EPS came in at 29 pennies. The street wanted 1 penny. So that's a decisive beat there. As I mentioned, Brendo, 2,800%, over $1 billion above on that top line, 13.58 billion. Brendo, the street was looking for 12.42. Destroying, and then it's lifting up all these other names. We got AMD rocketing up, ARM, Taiwan Semi hitting all-time highs. MRVL is rocketing, and Sean is back. So I'm sure we're going to hear a lot about MRVL in the next couple of days.
All is well in the world. Even the, everything tech is going to be positive. Here's the XLK. If you just go out to a weekly chart, it's parabolic at this point. The past couple of weeks here for anything tech related. It's been all about tech. I mean, oil had a pretty decent move down there about an hour ago, I guess it was, on these headlines. That looks like some talks might come through as soon as today.
That'd be great. The whole Lebanon thing, I guess he met with a bunch of people yesterday in the Oval Office, extending that ceasefire, so good to see that. We'll have to see how the other part of the war goes. Obviously, that's the Strait. But there's more to talk about. President Trump using his favorite social media platform, of course, Truth Social, basically coming out and supporting CBD, legalization, and for certain purposes. That Truth Social came out yesterday. Nice move up on MSOS, but it's a bit of a different path he's taking here. He's taking it more from the healthcare path as opposed to the recreation.
And now that we have the medical side pretty much cleared for takeoff here, for lack of a better term, why not pursue some of the recreational aspects of this as well? So yeah, I mean, it's good to see. You and I were talking a little bit, I think it was yesterday or the day before, off camera. The simple fact that the legalization here has almost decreased the demand to a point now where, retail space specifically and rent for retail space specifically has just gone so high that some of these weed shops are now closing in downtown Toronto because there's too much competition.
It's almost a race to the bottom, right? Firstly, they had to drop their prices to kind of push the black market aside, right? Because they got to change people's habits and preferences. You don't go your guy anymore, you go to the store. So they had to push them out. And then it started becoming a competition between each other, the different stores. So just anecdotally, from 2021, 2020, when we really started getting a lot of these stores opening up till now, the prices, I would say like 25, 30, maybe in some cases 50% lower. So it ends up benefiting the consumer. Not a great business, though, if you're looking at from the marijuana space, whether you're producing, you're selling. It's a bit of tough.
There just can't be a lot of margins in that period, end of story. So a lot of different angles to look at this morning, including coming up at 10 o'clock, we get University of Michigan sentiment as well. So there's a little bit of an inflation portion to that can move the market from time to time. So We'll bring you all that. We'll keep an eye out for comments on anything Middle East related as well. As we mentioned, Sean back in the seat this morning. Great to have him. Good morning, guys.
Morning, and look at the tan in the house. You gotta tell everybody how it was. First of all, you're bringing back some chip love.
Not too much of a tan over here. Yeah, no, it was good.
So.
Yeah, it was good. Yeah, I got tan, a little bit of a tan. A little bit of tan. It's okay. It's okay. It's a little brown. But no, welcome. Yeah, it's nice to be back and welcome everybody to the show here. It's again 8:05 right now. A good little intro there. Yeah, we saw the weed stocks go crazy yesterday. No, but the vacation was fantastic. The kids absolutely loved it. I was telling these guys, I said, now my kids can't have T-bone steaks for lunch anymore. Oh. They're back to today's pizza day at school, and my son comes back to a volleyball tournament. But no rain. We were in lovely city Puerto Morales, just outside of Cancun. So it was really super nice. And I was telling Neil that we had, like, every night was a different meal. It was fantastic. And the beach was great, and everything was great. The pools were great. Everything was great. And Gia did get 2 little braids. I mean, if I can find a picture. They're out now, but she got 2 little braids.
You gotta do,
yeah. So that was really nice there. And we were getting really burnt the first couple of days, so I had to buy one of those sun shirts. So I think that saved everything, because then you wear these and it's like completely UV protected.
Yep.
So you wear it for half the day and this and that. And we went on a catamaran. I was telling these guys, we went to the island one day. It was really super nice. So swam with some dolphins, all this kind of stuff. So it was really nice. It was good, man. It was good, but not as good as this market's been.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess like you were saying, there's some stocks, some things. You know what I was looking at here?
I mean, on a day where Intel's up 28% and AMD's up 11% and ARM's up 8%.
The SOXL was 13 or something straight days up, or 19 days up, or something like that.
Chips are okay. I mean, not everything. Like, Apple's not doing anything today.
There was, unlike the movies, MRVL, the other one around there.
Hey, wait a minute.
Someone brought up in the back. I never heard of this company before.
It's up Why is it not? It's up 5%.
Is it up 5%?
No, but I swear to you, Marvell's. Hold on a second.
Look, I want to thank Joe for everything. Joe came through and had a huge day.
4%, sorry.
But Joe always gets mad whenever we show this, because he really thinks he should be higher on this list right here. Here's Joe, 1.1%. I was looking at this. I thought I'd come in and be like, okay, I'm somewhere. But I didn't realize this. This is how crazy one stock could be. Marvell, 99%. It's like, I feel like I should just, imagine you picked Marvell, AMD, and insert Broadcom or any other name here, right ARM, there. ARM would be a great one as well. But here we go again. So I was just going to show that 99% is insane. You don't expect these stocks to move like that. And you have the AMD chart up, a 12% again here today.
I mean, forget about the 12%. Look how long this was holding $200. You have to lean back, otherwise it's too intense. That's why I'm leaning back on this. It's up 140. So you're talking about 70% from March, not the beginning of the year, from March. And then while absolutely nobody was looking, ARM from the lows is that doesn't even feel right. It's up 230%.
Yeah.
From the low. These things are insane. But look, the chips are leading the way. The weird thing about it is if you looked at TSM.
Oh, really? Okay.
So TSM just the other day said that they are not going to buy, at least they're going to delay buying ASML's newest machine, which is double the cost. They say we're putting it off till 2029.
So what did ASML do?
So ASML came back a little bit, but it's what TSM does that because you'd think they're being maybe cautious about spending too much, and it's so in the midst of that, TSM, the world's largest chip fab, they basically delay an important machine purchase for making advanced chips. Maybe they're a little bit concerned about spend, but what's crazy is the market doesn't care. We're just going higher and higher and higher. I think ASML bounced a little bit here, and how could you not? But yeah, it's absolute craziness. You gotta love it. Everything is booming if you're a chip name, because you come back and the market's doing good.
GV.
But Tesla, oh no,
this is up 9%.
No, but dang, my charts have been.
There it is.
It's only up 0.7%. My charts have been really bad this week. Apologies to everybody.
Something really weird's going on here, though. I have to say.
What's weird?
Why was Randy wearing a collared shirt when I just saw him? So there's two
Friday.
things.
He's dressing
there's two
up.
things that happen here.
He's dressing up.
A, it's Friday. Why the hell is Randy here? That's the first thing. That's the first question I have. Where is Randy? I'm gonna ask him this question when he comes back here. And then B had a collared shirt on, so I don't know if this guy has a date going on here. You got a lunchtime meeting, or
There's nothing wrong. What's going on with Randy? Maybe it is a date. It's Friday.
Maybe.
Got to get out in the world.
How did Joe handle the all day? Like, Joe, man.
Joe put in work.
Thank you so much for all that work there, Joe.
All day.
You get 3 Intel shares from me, Joe, for that work. That was great, man. Joe just ate all week, so we really want to thank him for doing that, plus the upgrades and downgrades, I assume, the options, all this kind of crazy stuff. So
it's like
Joe is an absolute stud, so we want to thank him. A Hyundai P. Sikino right now has nothing on it. I actually forgot to...
Oh, yeah, there was an Amazon headline, I guess.
I got to watch Mania. Apparently Mania was crazy. I got to watch WrestleMania over there. How's my Netflix?
See the Raptors aren't getting swept?
I saw the Raptors yesterday. What, were they supposed to get swept? No.
Well,
Cleveland is 4 versus 5.
It wasn't looking very good, though.
Yeah, I know. Brendan Ingram finally got some kind of points over there. Oh, Netflix is back down to $92? What happened? What happened to this stock? I know they had bad earnings, but...
The guide wasn't the best.
Okay, down to the 50 period over there.
And it's been sliding.
Oops.
It just hasn't really caught that bid yet.
Yeah, down...
Although it's a good... It's at the level of you would expect it.
Yeah, I might buy some more of this. I don't know. But I don't know what to do with Intel, man. I mean, the last time we sold that was $56 or something like that. Now it's all the way up. It's all the way up, so we'll have to figure that one out as well.
Fast.
And there wasn't Amazon like another $260 or something like that? Yeah.
Yeah.
This name just keeps on going higher and higher, up another 1.5% today. Man, life is good. Portfolio is good. We're back in the business right now.
Before Amazon, Meta partners with AWS on Graviton chips to power agentic AI. So there was a volume spike just as we were coming on air. Around it, I suppose, for Amazon. But at least there's something that's non-chip related that's, there you go, like it's making a fresh break and a fresh all-time high. We had a poll earlier in the week. We were basically making guesses as to what would get to mega cap, would get to an all-time high first. And it was the one that nobody was betting on, and it ended up being Broadcom. Like we put everything.
Broadcom make the all-time highs?
Well, it just like other things smidged to it as well. But Broadcom was the one that I feel like almost everyone was sleeping on. Us included. We weren't really talking about it. We threw it on the list because anything.
Well, I called MRVL baby Broadcom.
But it had to be big enough. Like we only included names that were close to the trail or big enough. And that chart too. But look, absolute carnage for shorts. And then of course it was Carr.
Yeah, Avis?
Yeah, Avis, which finally fell apart.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know when these Chinese names are going to get going again. Like Alibaba's still down here at 133. These ones,
who needs them?
These could be, they had some DeepSeek news yesterday. These ones could be the sleeping giants. The next couple of names to go, potentially some of these Chinese names that actually have.
Oh yeah, that's new.
Wait a minute, we got new music now every time that happens?
So there's that, and then when there's a super chat, there's like a cha-ching.
See, I leave and all this production happens. This is like so great. Now apparently we have 2 watch. Okay. So does this happen every time? What happens when a Derek comes on? Is this what happens now? Oh, you got a new one, all aboard? I like the all aboard. Yeah. See what I'm saying? I've been asking for different sounds. Where's Fabian anyways? Okay, Randy. Here we go.
Huh?
Come on, man. Tariffs. Okay, tariffs. Yo, Randy, come here, man. I've talked to you. Here, put this mic on, man. I want to talk to you about something here.
We're just going to let it go. Just one grape.
It's a pretty good grape. Mexican grapes are pretty good. All right, so everything all right? Looks like you got some sun, actually, now that I see you under the
Oh, yeah.
Were you working outside?
No.
Okay, good to know. All right, so I have a couple of questions. It's Friday.
I know.
So what, did you miss up the day? Sure.
You went on autopilot and found yourself at the office.
There's stuff to do, so I'm here.
Oh, okay.
All right, and then I was wondering about the shirt. The only time I see you in these kind of shirts.
We've had this conversation. I get dressed in the dark, and then you just grab something and go.
Sometimes you have a no shirt on.
Yeah, I've done that before. I wore my shirt inside out one day.
Okay.
But
I didn't know if you had like a court appearance or something like that today. You had something.
Not yet.
Not yet. Okay.
I do have jury duty coming up.
What? You got picked?
Yeah.
Oh no.
I know.
That sucks.
Enjoy the time off.
I
got picked.
Nobody.
I got picked like 2 weeks or 2 years or so ago, and then I went and they just throw it out. They threw the case out.
Most of the time, you're not going to have to sit.
It was nothing. Well, because you have to go down here to university and sit.
Oshawa.
Oh yeah, that's right. You live.
Oh yeah.
All right. Well, Randy, it's nice to see you on a Friday, my guy. What was the lunch? What is the lunch? Or the breakfast, sorry.
It's
Is it eggs?
Española tortillas.
Oh, so tortillas?
Tortilla.
I just came back. Okay,
Tortillas? Kind of a tortilla.
all right. Thank you, Randy.
Okay. That sounds all right.
Let's get that headline music again. Can we get that headline music again?
I'll throw another one.
There it is. Okay.
Oh, that one's way too long.
Oh, God.
Let's get, no, that's way too long. I just hit the next story that was on.
Anytime you hit it, it happens? Oh, no.
There's an option, so you can
Don't
do
give
it
us
this
the
way.
option to do
No, but
this.
there's one where I can send it, watch, and then you won't hear
I
it.
better refresh that thing.
See, there you go. Like, I can send it.
Oh, you can send without it. Okay.
Just in case, like, it's important, but I don't want to interrupt. You don't want to interrupt who's talking.
I get it. Okay,
Yeah,
I get it.
There's options there.
All right. Sounds
Looks
good.
like Hims is on them.
All right, well, you can tell I'm back because we've already got unhinged over here. So, all right, let's throw it back over to the guys. Uh-oh, there's, oh,
That's right.
oh, Randy.
Oh, yeah, the coffee machine was broken for
I saw it,
a day and
I saw
a
that
half.
email.
Yeah, that sucked.
Wow, thank you, Randy.
That's really.
In Mexico, we had a butler, but Randy is 10 times better.
Jeeves?
His name was, and one was Omar and one was Harrison, and they were actually great guys. So that was a lot of fun. And not Jeeves. No, I don't know if they would have known about that. I got to get that page for the news. Oh no, I have it down here actually. Okay.
As long as you you have to. As long as you refresh.
Yeah, I got it.
automatic.
I got it.
Yeah, I don't know
All right.
what's moving Hims. We'll go to the
816.
desk in a second. What happened to Hims just now?
Meta teamed up the Gravitron. We have that story.
Raise the price target on Hims. They're up 5%. I guess that's all it takes for Hims to go up. Price target raise. This was a huge. Hims was a big mover.
Oh,
Like yesterday, it was like this was probably takes the cake for the reversals yesterday. Like
you had the
Hims
weed
went like
stocks.
28 to 32 and then ended lower. And then MSOS, yeah, the weed stocks did a similar thing too. But just complete insanity. Like it's one thing to give up the move. It's another thing to give up the move and then give up the other move and then end up even lower, which they did. They should have had the story on 420. They should.
Oh yeah, what day is it?
It would have gone on. They came to the story on Wednesday. It should have been Monday. Stocks, they would have gone twice as far. Like everyone was like, why wouldn't you just do this on 420? And it would have been a bigger squeeze, but it doesn't matter. Let's get on to the desk, everybody, as we got to mosey on. I think we should have Michael. It's Friday. Oh, we got a super. Wait a minute.
I don't see Michael Lawson.
Hey,
It's
where was
only 8:17.
I just said we have a noise for the super chat, and then it didn't happen.
It did happen.
Did you hear it?
Yeah,
There it is.
I heard the register ringing over there.
It's a Bears.
Wow, we're
Bulls
working overtime over here,
Battlestar.
Brendan, with all this fancy stuff over there. Oh, and Brendan's in the quarter zip. I didn't even notice that.
The weather's nicer though.
Oh wow.
It's t-shirt weather now.
All right.
Happy Friday, guys. Intel straddle looking great this morning.
If only I knew what a straddle was. Yeah, no, it is looking. I mean, look, anytime you are making a play on earnings, and I guess I feel like the earnings probably, I wasn't here, but it probably was 7 or 8%. I don't know what the implied move was. It might have even been less than that. And now you're getting 28% move. I mean, it's going to be hard to have lost on anything if you had any kind of a position long into that. But did we get those BYD protein shakes yet, or what was going on with those?
En route, I think.
BYND.
The last I'd heard.
I just saw someone posted in the chat. Ooh, you might get a dollar break.
Not yet.
Here.
Oh, it already did.
Oh, it did already. I was just going to look at it
Back
at the
and
charts.
forth.
Yeah, I went there yesterday. Okay. So now you're on.
It was actually a dollar fail. Well, it was a bit of a short yesterday.
Now you're on the backside of that one. All
Sorry,
right.
Beyond Meat. Sorry, Beyond Meat.
Yeah. All right. Let's go back over the desk, see what these guys want to talk about.
Software names. If there is going to be an area of this market that's not necessarily all rosy, these got, well, let's just say sold off aggressively once again yesterday on the back of what happened to ServiceNow going back after the close 2 days ago. We are trying to bounce here this morning, but the narrative still not necessarily on the confidence side of things so far this morning anyways with some of these names. I mean, yesterday we were talking a little bit about cybersecurity specifically, and like maybe if you pull those out and like put them in their own little sub bubble, that might be a better way to approach this. But even those got hit.
They got hit hard.
Yeah.
They got hit real hard, and nobody was spared. Whether you were looking at Zscaler, Crowd, PanW, FTNT, they were all high single digits in the red yesterday, Brendo. So not a good look. Obviously, the precipice of that was ServiceNow reporting and the weakness there. The market is demanding monetization as just opposed to subscription, because we saw ServiceNow, their new AI product, had over 100% increase in customers paying over $1 million a year. That's defined by them as a large client, and rightfully so. But the market looked through that, and the market looked through it into the cybersecurity names, which had been quite strong. I think 5 or 6 days in a row, they all closed green, and that kind of their narrative changed a little bit yesterday.
Even Microsoft, I mean, it was ugly midday yesterday. We did recover some of that going into the close. I was just double checking here. Looks like Wednesday the 29th. So coming up next week, we'll get Softy earnings. So 2 days in a row here. Even Microsoft on the wrong end of the software narrative, guys. So hopefully that will change with their report.
Yeah, but it's like we were saying yesterday a bit. Like some of these software pullbacks, when you put it into perspective, they end up looking more like little mini bull flags and consolidations, if anything else, right? Like I use a 15, way more dark pool wicks today. If you use like a zoom out approach, like the real run happened last week, and this is still technically a consolidative week. Like we didn't lose this bottom here at 412. As bad as it got yesterday, you're able to bounce off it. So there's a few names that look exactly like this, so that they don't lose that shelf. You're in a pretty, I like to call healthy consolidation, would be the way I would try to approach it here on Microsoft. Now, Microsoft probably deserves to be in a different category from things like ServiceNow, because they stunk, and they reported already, and the market already decided what they don't like about that report. And then the weird thing, when we were doing the aftermarket show and ServiceNow reported, and every software name went down, was just how badly they were catching strays. Like everybody was catching a stray that night, whether it mattered or not. Like you had PanW, which had flushed in that aftermarket, and it had a very, very nice bounce as well off of a pretty key level. Like it went right to $170 where it ramped up before and bought in. And if you pull up the CrowdStrike chart, it was exactly the same thing. Like where they broke out the 2 days before, they both bounced off the same level. So you come in today, and you're like, okay, well, 170 is a level on PanW, and there's a similar one going on CrowdStrike. And if we start to see this happen every single time one software name takes a little bit of a hit, there might be some great dip buy opportunities. Like I think when they report next week in Microsoft, you're going to want to look across the IGV for any potential move, because the sympathy moves were actually cleaner in terms of where they bounced after that, flush in now. Well, we still have Joey Options around because I see him already locked and loaded to give you some options plays. Let's head on over to the big screen.
All right, guys, good morning. Let's take a look into some of the options activity from yesterday's session. Guys, we're going to kick things off with U.S. oil. Open interest at this $440 strike price, guys, 7,930 contracts. 4,760 opened and closed on yesterday's session. But what we really want to focus on here is our implied volatility with an uptick to 102%. Now, our bid and ask sitting around an $8 spread, and our gamma exposure is relatively light. We can see that these are an out-the-money contract, considering our delta is only sitting at that $24 metric. Now, as for the contract in itself, not too much of a change. You do have a slight bounce in the latter half of the session. Yesterday, we've seen that it climbed to highs of the days in the second half, but nonetheless, nothing crazy from an appreciation standpoint on that specific contract. Next slide, Sharif. I'm sorry. Thank you. AAL is going to be our next contract, guys. We are going to be looking at this $12 strike price. Open interest at that level. This is going to be at the money, sitting around 53,000 contracts. Now, this is substantial, relatively speaking. Volume sitting around 24,000 open and closed contracts on yesterday's session. Once again, we'll get back into our Greek metrics, and what we have is 31 delta here, considering we're at the money. You can see that increase, but one thing that I really want to note about this specific underlying and this contract is your gamma exposure exposure is relatively high. You're sitting around $73. So that's substantial, all right? And an uptick due to earnings. Your implied volatility sitting at 74.7%. Now, a name that is continuing to climb higher. We're going to look at the whole chain here, guys, on Intel. But one thing that I want us to note is 56 days away. So I went through multiple expiration cycles, and then this just popped out. And this is what we're essentially looking for, okay? So what we have is a concentration through multiple strikes, 65, 70, 80, 85, throughout this whole cycle is where we see the most amount of open interest. I'm talking 27,000 contracts, 49,000 contracts, 39,000 contracts, and so on. That's a lot of size in 56 days. We don't typically see that amount of concentration and size that far out. So something going on here with Intel, and you can see that your delta and your at-the-money IV is going to be drastically increased just due to the fact with the earnings report, you're up 28% plus this morning. Guys, let's send it back to Neil and Sean.
7%.
I mean, there's nothing. I mean, when you're looking at a stock like an Intel, I think that's part of the problem. Is like it's such a huge move to the high side there that I'm even trying to write down. You know, like I want Intel's going to be the number. Yeah, it's going to be the number one name on the list here today. But it's just like I don't really. Right now I only have written down like an $87 break, which I don't have the time high enough here. That was right here. That was at about 6 a.m. or so this morning. That was 87 right there. We bounced off the 50-period moving average once we hit that, but we've sort of slowly been declining back down. So I'm not sure if we want to look at the long or the short here for Intel, the very first play, but I am interested if it does sort of get back up to this level, and you're going to see some people panic, I believe, when it breaks the pre-market high there of $87. And then if we zoom sort of in a little bit, it's been pretty flat, obviously, this morning, where, you know, up 28%, 26, like just back and forth, back and forth. You know, yesterday's little bump up there, maybe if you get in, but I don't think we fall down to here. So I'm just going to write down, let's be as patient as we can with this. Let's see where it winds up settling down. Let's see where this 200 period winds up going there around, 9:45, 10 o'clock, and we'll be able to see if we could trade some Intel off of that. I mean, Intel, AMD, and then, Joe brought up a couple different names. Even Bitcoin there. I mean, I know we didn't talk about that, but that's obviously an options play as well that people are looking at off that $80,000 mark there. So we can see if IBIT wants to continue to go upside. That's up at 1%. But like the Nasdaq's up 1.3%, and the ES is only up 0.43. So there is something more to go. Any takes? Oh yeah, MXL's on our it's max.
They reported as well.
That's only up 40% or so.
Well, yeah, they had a beat. I wanted to see
maybe
if
it's more than that now.
Short float. There. Well, they beat on the top and bottom. They had pretty strong guidance as well, and they got an upgrade. It's 10% short MaxL. So Max Linear, it's a decent enough short flow, which probably helps to explain why you get such a gigantic move. The thing about it for day trade, and these aren't comparable, but Intel's at 13 million shares right now. MaxL's up 50%. It's done 430,000 shares. At least that's what my thing says. The spread is 62 pennies on a $50 stock. So yes, this is like squeeze-ish as well. We were talking, AOI is a good one to compare it to. Like these have gone absolutely, there's a lot of parabolic nonsense, but look at the difference. Structured upside and parabolic upside. And parabolic upside is hard to chase. We said that with CAR. And ultimately, the weird thing about CAR is, if you look at we were first this has gone too far, it still went twice as far and then gave it all back in 1.5 days, which is insane when you think about it. But that's where the concern becomes when you get this intense. So for Max Linear, this is one of those great if you've got it, congratulations. But I would never know what to do if you're in something that's parabolic. For me, I'm just even when ARM's going crazy, and I'm I don't know, what do you do there? GE Vernova, and those are stocks that are reasonable. This is only a mini squeeze. Some of this actually is structural and makes some sense. It's just gone seemingly too far too fast, and it's very relatively illiquid as well, which that cuts both ways when you don't have a ton of liquidity. Because it's great for the upside, but it also means the unwinds can get pretty nasty. Yeah, great. I mean, great if you got it. I wouldn't be chasing this one. Not necessarily. 50% up. The shorts are definitely getting burned.
Yeah, all right, it's 8:30 right now. We can go back over to the desk and start going through. I was just looking to see if...
Oh, we got another super chat.
Okay, what's going on?
Oh.
Michael Nutt's not till 8:45.
There it is.
All right, Microsoft versus hope you had a good trip. I did, thank you very much. To Sunny there, Sunny Sharma. It was sunny days over there. I don't think we had a day under 30 degrees, so I was very, very lucky. Hope you had a good trip. Bullish, Microsoft. Yeah, I mean, bullish, both of them. I was thinking about, like, when you're thinking about what's been happening, you know, with all the space, right? It's been very much stock sell. It's been very much the chip space over there. There was, you know, some stories where Anthropic is getting some more love, also from the Pentagon, right? And so that could be something for Palantir that's not necessarily a headwind, but obviously a tailwind. I'm not too excited about buying anything until it's kind of like what Neil was talking about with Microsoft before about how it's trying to hold that 410, 412 area. I just, you know, I think you're a little bit off on Palantir maybe right now. I would rather see it break above this 50-period moving average before we really get excited. I just, you know, you're seeing so many other names working right now, and I'd rather have Palantir, because we know that once it starts to go, we can get right back up here, right? I mean, there's no doubt about it. This is very much a sort of a cult stock where it will just go on anything. We had Michael Burry sort of creating a shorts panic a little bit there for the downside. And I believe in some of the stories, to be honest with you. I think with, you know, the way AI is moving, Palantir might have been the first one to sort of get into the space, but now there's so many more options available, and I am a little worried about Palantir's dominance moving forward. So I think they got to get some more commercial contracts and get away from some of this government talk. And then today there's some news about divesting some Swiss.
It was
government divesting.
Swiss government looking to divest because it was.
So
there's activists that don't like their business.
Right. Yo.
As if they didn't know what they did.
What, my car?
Don't they usually email?
I don't have a key to my car. When are they doing that right now? Okay, I'll just go do it. Because I got to give you my phone.
Yeah, so just so everybody knows, like the building here, if you park, they do usually when they do the cleaning and tell everyone you can't park there. There's like some kind of
No, there was an email. There was.
There was an email.
Yeah.
Okay, well I don't drive in, so I probably ignored it. Yeah. Oh, there was we did a question. It wasn't Palantir. It was Microsoft, Tesla, and Netflix. Before you go. Yeah. No, because we did like a gun to head. I don't know why.
Okay, what was
Tesla
it?
Because of earnings. It was right here, right now. Would you buy Microsoft, Tesla, or Netflix?
I mean, was there a time frame, or was it just like
I don't think we made a time frame on it, so let's just say for a year.
I mean,
so
the one thing that we already looked at was where Netflix had dropped into. So for me,
assuming you get it in this 90 range,
yeah, like if I got this today, I would think it would not be Palantir. Palantir would be third. So I would say it would be Netflix because where we are. I still like the Netflix. I still like the live sports.
That's what I picked too. I picked Netflix too.
Yeah, I like the live sports aspect for Netflix.
I don't think it was a popular choice.
It wasn't? Well, people said Microsoft?
No, well, Tesla was an option.
Oh, Tesla was an option.
Tesla was an option too.
Oh, okay.
Tesla was an option.
Yeah, I mean, Microsoft's just been on too much of a little bit of a run. Tesla was the other option. I don't know, maybe Tesla. Tesla had a good report, right? But they faded back out pretty good off that. They bounced off the 200. Yeah, so I would think it would just have to be Netflix based on all of this stuff here.
Yeah, they lost.
Which one won the thing, the vote? Was it Tesla, Palantir, Microsoft?
I want to say it was Tesla.
Tesla won?
It definitely wasn't
Netflix. Tesla haters out there.
But we'll let you go move the car because obviously you don't want the power washers or whatever the heck.
I think I've left it there before.
All they do is do around it.
I got big deal. Okay,
I do believe we have Michael coming through. I do see.
Yeah, I see him.
I thought it was at 8:45.
It says 8:40. Well, he can come at 8:45.
Okay. Yeah, whenever.
All right, let's go back to the desk, and then I'll be right back.
You probably have it set to
pre-market. Yeah,
we're just don't mind us. We're just having our own conversation. We're talking about charts, or the prior day or the current day. Like we're just talking about how charts or candles on a chart can be red or green based off today's open or yesterday's close kind of thing. So it gets a little bit confusing. So anyway, semiconductors are just absolutely insane. Right now, Broadcom just parabolic at this point over the past couple of weeks here. 13 days in a row, I was reading for the Nasdaq, just absolutely insane. Strength. Here's Tesla, meanwhile. Definitely not 13 days in a row. or even close for that matter for Tesla, but we did have quite the reversal off earnings as we talked about in depth yesterday. Ended up being basically a nothing day yesterday for Tesla, but I mean, more focus on the manufacturing side now, more focus on, it's one of those things, you get the earnings report and then the next couple of days, you get all the analysts coming out with their opinions on what they said.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly, and that's typical of the earnings cycle. Today, there is a positive headline for those who are invested in Tesla, and it is a theme that I think can be quite accretive. Tesla has begun production of the Cybercabs. That's vis-a-vis Elon Musk. Of course, Cybercab is a car without steering wheels, without pedals. It's the key. It's the key vision here for Tesla for autonomous vehicles. They are looking to design the production line, Brent, to make hundreds of these per week. That's the standard off which Elon is saying. Musk said that the Cybercab could have material impact, obviously, on Tesla's finances. It's going to use full self-driving, not supervised, but full self-driving as a ride-hailing server. So let's find out more information on this. We know how Tesla typically operates. We start seeing things in the wild, and then those videos find their way onto X and TikTok and whatever else. And then we start, hearing about the why we're seeing them on the road in the weeks and months later.
We were discussing the simple fact that you and I are both excited for this, especially in the morning time. I don't want to complain. I mean, this guy was great, obviously, but 7 o'clock, 7:10 in the morning, I'm on my way here this morning in an Uber, and I couldn't get a word in edgewise.
I'm not ready to talk at that early in the morning.
No coffee yet, no nothing, and I couldn't get a word in edgewise.
No, but I like, we know Waymo's coming here. They already announced it. The mayor of this city was talking about it as well. My big issue with this is we have a fundamentally different climate than the areas where they're testing them. They're testing them in California and Texas. They don't see the kind of climate we get here. Now, we haven't seen them in the New Yorks, right? The similar climate area to the Toronto area. So I want to see how they do in the snow. I want to see how they do in all the other weather events that we have. We have everything under the sun. We have full 4 seasons. Yeah. So let's see how they operate.
I remember that one snow day we had, that huge snowfall we had on the way here. I even said it on the show, I think. There was 3 different Model 3s stuck in the middle of the road, just on those snowbanks that the snowplows leave when they go through an intersection or whatever. So, I mean, and that was a Model 3 with a person in it. So let's see what a robot one does. But yeah, Tesla higher anyways to start here.
Be concerned if you're not higher on a day like today, but like, I think this is one of those moments to remember. It's easy to get, we've been pretty exuberant all morning long because you have so much strength in the chip names, and everyone's always looking at the chips, and the Nasdaq's up over 1%, but the ES is up 0.3% today. Tesla is just sort of hanging out in the middle of the range that it put in yesterday's trade, and it wasn't like, you couldn't call it anything bullish, because pretty much to plan, like, prior support turned into resistance and then solidified that at the 80 range. And if we can't chew back through those low 80s, like I had 382 to 386 is the range. I think it's the same thing today. Like, if it cannot chew through that, Tesla post earnings is still in a little bit of a malaise. It lost the 50-period moving average. It was already under the 200-period moving average. So it sucks because I wasn't really expecting a resumption of the downtrend with Tesla. And there's at least one good thing that could possibly happen. I'm not drawing this perfectly, but oftentimes if you have like a really long channel on a stock, then like the channel can turn into, like the resistance on the channel can turn into support. So I think that's what has to get tested post earnings. And I won't feel so bad if we can start bouncing off the top end of this channel. And it's one of those, with a trend line, when you see it, that's on the higher time frame. For today, I just don't see relative strength here. I see the same sell zone as what we had before on Tesla. I come in with probably the same approach, but there's a lot of things to be exuberant about in this market, just not necessarily Tesla here. They didn't like that CapEx spend, and we said this is an important point. Nobody has come out with big CapEx spends, we're increasing it by 20%, and then it's only like a 1-quarter thing. It'll be multiple. Like, I'm expecting that we're gonna get another big number in the next quarter, and I think the market's trying to price that in because they're a new entrant to the big spend game. 25 billion probably just to start. You could see it in the 30s next time, and I wouldn't be surprised by that at all. We are ready to have Michael Noss, so we're going to throw it up to the desk, and our good friend the Noss boss in the house.
Yeah, we were talking with Michael Noss back on Monday a little bit about what has happened on the positioning side of things with this move back to all-time highs off of the pullback when the war started. So I just quickly, I have to preface this by saying, I just quickly ripped through some of these charts that you sent, and I'm a little bit surprised here, Mr. Noss. I thought it was going to be a lot more heavily on the short side than it actually is.
Yeah, and that was what we were chatting about, is that, is this a short covering rally, or is this a career risk rally, I guess you could say, where, maybe people didn't get short, but maybe they sold out at the lows, and now they have to kind of get back in and talk about, okay, I got to go to my clients, I got to chat with them about maybe why we got a little scared at the lows, maybe why we're underperforming the market a little bit. But the first chart I brought is just kind of showing the commitment of traders data. So just a brief explanation. I know I've brought this on before, but any new listeners, the idea is that if you have a futures account and you have a futures position open, that futures broker reports to the CFTC once a week on, I think, Tuesdays for Friday's action, and just says, this is our client's net positioning, and you get bucketed into one of two camps. You're either a speculator or commercial. Commercial means that, you work for, let's say, if an oil company and you're trading oil futures, that means you're a commercial hedger. Those are generally considered the smart money because they have a little bit of insider information for what it is they're working. Everyone else is a speculator. And these speculators are often mega wrong. And there are trading strategies that are just designed to look at when people get a little bit too crowded on one side or another. If everybody is long, maybe it's time to take some profits. And if everybody is short, maybe it's time to buy some. So this chart is just zoomed out going back to 2017. And I've just highlighted all of the times that these speculators have gotten very, very short. So the more under zero that line is, the more short they are. And you can see it happens generally right at or around bottoms of markets, and they don't flip long till way later in the trend. And you see it in 2020, you see it in 2022. And then also I remember being on here in 2025 saying, as long as these guys are short, I want to stay long the market. And we had this slow grind kind of lockout rally where if you're short the ES and it's up 10, 15%, then any kind of a downtick you think you'll be covering. And it keeps that kind of lid on what's going on there. So if we go to the next chart here, which is a zoomed in kind of version of it. And this is covering the tariff tantrum, is that first kind of dip, the tariff tantrum 2025. And you can see how short they were the entire time. Funny enough, just covering their positions up near the top before another drop came in. And yes, they have reshorted, but like Brendan was talking about, not that much. They didn't get too short. They are still net short on the ES, which is crazy to me. But they're not too short, not nearly like they were last year. So that might be a knock against a potential rally continuing and taking place, because you might not be having this short covering. But then there's the career risk angle that we talked about, where, again, career risk just talks about, I think it's even more important than short covering. It's people trying to keep their jobs. And, if you're a hedge fund manager, all hedge fund managers are competing with all other hedge fund managers. If you've got money with hedge fund A, hedge fund B and C and D want that money because that's how they get paid. So they're going to be kind of competing for this. So we may be in this area where we have a little bit of a have not, depending on this next chart here and whether or not you got out at the lows. So this last chart is of the QQQ, and this is net flows. So we're no longer talking commitment of trader data. We're talking about whether people are putting money into the QQQ ETF or whether they're redeeming money out of it. And this is also a piece of data point, just like the commitment of traders, that shows you a little bit more of positioning. People, generally speaking, are going to be investing their money each and every 2 weeks or a month or whenever you get paid. You have this kind of flow that's always kind of going into from the retail side into these ETFs, right? The SPY, the QQQ, VOO, that type of thing. So these flows are generally positive, just because, right, people are kind of dollar cost averaging into retirement accounts as it happens. You can see very rarely that these things flip negative. It's very, very rare. And, it happened a little bit at the end of 2022. and a little bit during the tariff tantrum that we start to see some outflows, but they just ran this time. These outflows in the Nasdaq and in the QQQ ETF was the biggest that you can see on this chart going all the way back to 2020. So this to me is a little bit more potentially retail focused, whereas futures, you could see that being a little bit more institutional, that type of thing. But we are getting this scenario in which I don't think people are really net short. So that might not, cause the explosive rally to continue. But I do think that they did get out of enough of, the Qs and everything like that, that if the market continues to hold here and continues to hold strength, they may be kind of reinvested. So generally speaking, I look at this ETF flow thing as more of an investment thing, and then the commitment traders data is more of a trading thing. So we may just be in that area where it's not really a short covering rally anymore. It's more of just, did people get uninvested at the wrong time? And then now they need to look to get reinvested a little bit later, again, when the war is kind of completed, and if the market shows a little bit of strength here holding for a period of time.
Maybe just go back through that last part once again. Like if anyone's hearing that for the first time, net flows, I mean, it's basically sells versus buys.
Yeah, so when in your brokerage account, you're just hitting buy, and that's all you see that happens. But what's happening there is that you're putting money into an ETF, and that ETF then goes and buys all of the stocks that it has to, and swaps and everything to maintain the performance to the Nasdaq. So if you think of it kind of more like a mutual fund, which ETFs are meant to mirror, you're either like putting your money into it or you're taking your money out of it. And when people are kind of putting their money in there, that's just showing that they are investing in it. So it doesn't necessarily mean that it's going to go up or down based off this. And this is kind of a rolling type of chart. But yeah, it's just whether or not they're investing in the ETF or they're redeeming their money back out of it.
Yeah, and as you said, the thing that jumps off that chart glaringly is back in April of last year when we had the tariff tantrums. Overall, I mean, this was, I guess, something, but nowhere near what we're seeing right now.
Yeah, everything pointed to last time a huge win for retail. We saw institutions, like I showed in the COT data, just heavily shorting the market in that commitment trader data. But then retail just bought. So if you looked at, because there's a way to pull out the large speculators and the small speculators, and retail bought the dip during the tariff tantrum and institutions got out. And I think that's what kind of fueled the rally for the next year, is these institutions needing to buy in. What I'm potentially seeing here, and we need a little bit more data to confirm, is that it may have been the opposite this time. It may have been retail that got scared and the institutions actually kind of stuck in.
Let's see how what the buying power is like going back in at all-time highs here for the overall market and individual names as well. Fascinating. Let's see how you, as you said, how this plays out going forward. Thanks.
Thanks for having me. Have a good weekend.
Fantastic stuff as always by Michael Noss. All right, guys, let's take a look at some of the analyst actions this morning, guys. We're going to kick things off with some downgrades. DraftKings on the top of the list. You're down about 0.9% here, guys, going from a buy to a neutral way, but also a reduction in price. $38 to $27 by MoffettNathanson is that price target. Flutter Entertainment also on the list, guys. You're down 0.68%, going from a buy to a neutral as well. MoffettNathanson, the culprit there, guys. And then no specific price target on Flutter. Now, as for Comcast, also on the downgrades, you're down about 2 1/3 here, going from a buy to a hold. Now, the price target reduction, only $1 or so, $35 to $34 by Deutsche Bank. Freeport McMoran on the list as well, to slightly positive this morning. Overweight to an equal weight, but a $4 reduction there, $70 to $66 by Morgan Stanley. Now moving forward, let's take a look at some of the upgrades. Polaris on the list, you're up a little bit less than 2% here today, but market performed to outperform with a price target of $66 by Raymond James. Now Intel getting the nod once again, guys, 28% this morning. morning, going from a neutral to a buy and almost a double in the price target, $48 to $98 by Citibank. Now, AMD also getting the nod, 13% here, neutral to a buy, and then a substantial price increase from 220 to 375 by D.A. Davidson. And then we have Sun Life Financial up a little bit less than 0.5%, going from a sector perform to outperform, and a target of 109 Canadian dollars. Let's send it back to Neil and Sean.
Thank you very much, Joe. This portion of the show and those upgrades and downgrades brought to you by Prop Shop Trader, because if you're an equity trader that is looking to scale, Prop Shop Trader is a multi-asset prop firm designed to remove the typical barriers that traders face. You can trade stocks without the pattern day trading restrictions and no licensing requirements, while also accessing futures markets within the same environment. Prop Shop Trader offers both day trading and swing trading programs, giving traders the flexibility to manage multiple accounts and deploy different strategies. Why risk your own capital when you don't have to? Scan the QR code to unlock 60% off your first account, plus buy one, get one free. Get started today. Shout out to Prop Shop Trader. And just spiking a little bit here, and I can't make this one up, the trade desk with a little bit of a bounce. Why? Because Barron's came out with a piece outlining why they think the trade desk could be the next short squeeze. I guess they're going to all come out of the woodworks now after Avis. It's like, well, this is a squeeze, that's a squeeze. So, a little bit of a bounce here. Trade desk, decent enough volume. I suppose insert stock with a short float that's getting beaten up, and then someone's going to want it to be the next squeeze somewhere. That's just fair.
Get some people to
and it's probably behind a paywall, the article, too.
Shout out to Pops Mafia there. Yeah, man, I'm sorry the Bills did that to you again, man. They're disappointing Pops Mafia again over there. Goes to the draft party, and there's no draft pick for the Bills last night. They traded back twice.
You know what, though? I think it was smart.
Yeah. I mean, it just sucks that you're waiting for a draft pick.
It's a big disappointment when if you're there. I get it. Trust me, I get it. You know because I go to bed relatively early.
Yeah.
So I'm staying up looking to see who their pick is going to be. And it's like, why did I bother?
I was ready for that there last night, and I hit that 11:30, 11:45, 12
What did you
o'clock.
guys get? I didn't even.
We don't have a first round pick because of Micah Parsons.
Okay, that's why. I'm like, okay.
Yeah, we don't draft till 50 over there. We already robbed them of that of getting Parsons. So okay, I was just gonna say DraftKings was on the upgrades and downgrades there from Joe. So thanks for that, Joe. And there it is, man, just bouncing off the 50 period. I think DraftKings, this is like a shelf that is. We talked about short flows, over 30% short on DraftKings. But no, like sort of white knight to come save them yet on some sort of a short squeeze. But I was looking you break through. I don't know if it's going to be today, but the Nasdaq's up 1.5%, DraftKings down 1.5%, and this is looking like it wants to break this $20.50 mark. I don't know if it happens, like I said, today. That means it needs to get going, but I think that's a trade for sure on that break. You break that, you hold the short until maybe, if you're swinging it, you can hold it. It's only 23 is where your 50-period moving average is. We haven't been at the 50-period moving average all year. So that's mid-January right there. And it's just been getting, downside. We saw when it broke this little head, this little shoulder here, boomed back to the downside. We'll see if that becomes a head and get another shoulder. But right now you're kind of forming out that this is not looking great. We rejected the 50-period moving average there, went lower, made new all-time. It's not going to be all-time lows, but made new lows there. Came back up, is rejecting the 50-period again and looking to go lower, and then we get a downgrade on top of it. So, yeah, DraftKings to me looks like it's primed to go a little lower if you're looking for a short idea. And I might even add it to the list today for that short as well. So, look, man, we're really excited to be back and to start hitting the keys again here. So, want to thank Joe, obviously, for a bang-up show. I'll try my best to repeat the quality of the show over the last 5 days. But we're here right now. We're ready to rock and roll. I'm in on a Friday, so that was pretty nice. It's Friday today, that is for sure. We'll see what's for lunch, see if it's a Friday kind of a day here today. Randy's in the building today as well. It's fried chicken?
No. We had
Was it good
chicken.
at least?
It wasn't as good as the time before. It was good. It's always good. It wasn't as good as...
What did Joe rate it?
He didn't give a rating.
He didn't give a rating. Okay.
He enjoyed it, but he ate it alarmingly fast.
Begrudgingly?
It was. Yeah, because we were doing. Because he wasn't eating until we did the afternoon show.
Of course.
So he has the plate next to him, and we're doing the regular thing. We come back from doing the segment at the desk, and then he starts digging into it. I look over, it's 5 minutes later, and his plate is just done.
Yeah.
So, he wasn't
playing. The one friend that we know eats super fast.
Oh, yeah.
One friend of ours. All right.
Don't always want to out people. Shriek's like, who's that? Like we're going to out somebody.
Yeah.
We know somebody.
Shreve eats quick, too. Shreve eats quick, man. He's got that little protein mix there in the morning.
Canteen him in, back and
dude,
forth, back and
Okay, it takes you an hour to eat it, but how many eggs are in that thing?
It's 12, baby.
12, okay.
Don't forget the mixed vegetables, too.
It looks and tastes.
Of course it takes you time to eat it.
Looks like it tastes great, I should say.
It would take me all day. Well, it wouldn't take me all day to eat that. I eat pretty quick.
Yeah.
No, there was something else. Oh, this is what I was going to say, because you were talking about DraftKings. The press, the bad press is some of the, these, I guess, event betting markets are getting in the last week. Like, you had the rest of a soldier, you had the rest of a U.S. soldier who made 400 grand betting on the Maduro capture.
Right.
He put 33 grand. And then there's some dude in...
Barron Trump, too, was doing something?
Well, there was some legend for that, but there's another gangster one. I think it was in France. It might have been in England. One of the two. Somewhere in Europe, some dude bet on like the high temperature. Okay. And then they left the station unguarded where they do the reading.
And that's what it was.
Brother just went up there with a hairdryer for long enough to alter it to make some money. Because think about it, they're not guarding that thing because there's a betting market on it. So there's all kinds of issues with some of these event betting.
We got back, all 5 of us went on vacation. I got back, I was sitting with Baxter, my 23-year-old there. And I was like, oh, what are you doing on your laptop? He brought it to Mexico and everything. He's running CloudBot on it. And he has a program that scans all the prediction markets right now, looking for little things like that. He's talking about like false positives. And so something like that would have hit his board there, and it would have, given some sort. You know what else he's doing? He's got Claude right now, CloudBot, I guess, or whatever is the clause and all that. He has it scanning flights, and some of those like Skyscanner and some of the flight, Google Flights. He's using a lot as well for that. And what he's doing is the minute it sees something that is like way out of whack, like, for example, a cheap flight to blah, blah, blah. Like, if something is 80% off, it instantly flags him. And then he can either, pick that flight up or let some of his friends know or whatever. So because he's young and he was looking to travel. So that's part of the game for him is, like, he's on there grabbing all these things. I was like, bro, why don't you tell me this when I'm trying to book a vacation?
Well, my pops uses it to
I'm
visit my brother. It's genius. Because think about it, like, if you're retired, you don't care when he goes, but he's going to visit my bro in Halifax multiple times a year. So he just basically is constantly scanning. And then
he's got this machine to do it.
But that's what he does now. He pays for Claude.
Yeah.
And it's just, you just go whenever it's cheap. Now, obviously, that doesn't work for everybody because you plan a vacation. And
it's just fun to do.
It's amazing what you're able to. Of course, you got to pay.
And he can, the polymarket stuff is if something goes out there that's a little erroneous, you can right away hop on the other side of it. And then you're one of the first ones to make the bet. So you're going to get a much better odds than as it starts to alter back and forth, right? So that's part of it. And that's where you get all the efficiencies, of these, these claws and everything like that go out there and do what used to take us, hours and weeks and months and years to do. It's just these little ideas that are coming through. But I always think about it. He's a smart dude. But if this is what he's doing as one man, that's 23 years old, I feel like there's big farms out there that are right now building all of these, and the future is just going to be so wild for everything that we look forward to right now. Okay, I'm gonna get this out now. It's getting a little late, so we're ready to rock and roll, man. And it's gonna go back. We have our watch list out. We have Sharif's morning note out. I saw Sia's in the building. Adara's over here. We want to welcome Tiffany over here, running the 1s and 2s in the back. So yeah, we're really excited. The team is growing over here, and we're really happy to do that for everybody and just keep the show bigger and badder.
That's a new one.
Yeah, I think there's a couple new sound effects happening over here. But all right, let's go back to the desk. We're gonna get this all figured out.
The Maduro thing is interesting. Have you read that story?
The
guy that made 400 grand.
Yeah, that's just. I mean, come on, man.
But there was there's a couple of people making a good point in the chat. I was just noticing that, like, are these regulated?
They are. So it's actually breaching one of the markets. I was listening to it on This Morning on CNBC. There's some sort of market. Yeah, exactly. That, and it includes.
It's not the SEC.
It's not the SEC. It was a specific legislation, something act. I'll find it in a minute. But there was. It includes the prediction markets.
I mean,
Polymarket. I think it was. Was it Kalshi or Polymarket?
I can't remember.
They suspended his account immediately, and they said there's no insider trading on our.
When the casino doesn't win, they kick you out, right?
Exactly.
Lilly downside this morning to the tune of, it's not great, $40 or so on the back of this new data showing their latest weight loss drug. Signed up a third in the second week of the people that signed up the first week, so that can't be good.
Yeah, the GLP one is a little hit and miss at the moment. You can kind of see that a little bit with the HIMS angle and the Amazon angle as well, to basically making that available. But I just want to go back for a second to the insider trading thing. Did you see what President Trump said when he was asked about it? He's like, well, did he bet on himself? And then he started like eliciting Pete Rose and how Pete Rose was betting on baseball, but he was betting on himself as opposed to the other team. And
he also said, he also said he's not a fan of all of this and has never been a fan of all of this.
I thought it was interesting there.
It's really complicated. It's getting to a point where literally anything and everything you can bet on.
Yeah.
Is it going to be sunny tomorrow?
And we have that on our platform too, Joseph and I, on our brokerage. Like, it'll just pop up these random questions in areas where you don't expect these random questions to pop up. Like, it's like a stock visualizer. And then at the bottom, be like, does the Nasdaq close above this level or this level at the end of the week? And all you got to do is hit one button, and all of a sudden you're betting on it. They're making it really simple, Brendo.
Crazy.
Removing barriers.
Let's have a look at the market here.
All right, guys, 708.5 is where we closed out on the SPY yesterday. We're up 1/3%. We're in that holding pattern. I'm going to zoom in here so we can kind of look. This is kind of the range that we've been putting in. As we mentioned, 705 has been coming in as a repeat support level on the day, with that 712, let's say 711.5 is resistance. And we're still within that pattern. We're at about 710 3/4 right now. So we're going to say the same thing, Brendo. We're looking at that 712. 712.5 as our area of support. If we start selling off for whatever reason, that same 705 we've been talking about as support, Brendo.
All right, if you haven't done so yet, as always, link is down below in the description right now. Second link, I believe it is, in the description will get you to the sign-up page for the watch list. Has everything you need to know every single day in the pre-market, and then you come join us at 8 o'clock. A lot of people with a lot of thoughts on Intel this morning, coming back in a little bit right now. What was the high there? 87, I guess, above 87, early this morning on some of these analyst notes. I mean, there's endless amounts of positivity around this report, rightfully so. I mean, not much in the way of negativity in the report itself. I mean, the EPS, as you and I were talking, just absolutely insane.
It was really good. I mean, we'll get to the numbers, but really it was what Lip Bhutan said on the call yesterday that really got me excited. The numbers are as exciting. 29 pennies are earnings per share. The market wanted 1. So that's a 2,800% beat. That's just absolute destruction there on revenue of $13.58 billion. That beats a 12.48, and that grew at a 9% bump, or sorry, a 7.2% bump year over year. The Q2 guidance equally as strong, guiding 13.8 to 14.8 billion. The street was looking for 13.07. So if you look at the high end of that range, that could be almost a $2 billion beat, give or take. With EPS, 20 pennies. The street was looking for 9. So that's a fantastic look there. And then if you're looking for the data center revenue, up 22% year over year, up to 5.1 billion. But Lip Bhutan was like saying, he's like, look, autonomous AI agents, they kind of brought Intel's specialty back. He called it the humble CPU, because CPUs have been a little bit out of favor for GPUs. He said the agentic wave is moving intelligence closer to the user end. And basically he was trying to give a ratio. He's like, before agents really kind of made their way onto the AI scene, you needed about like 3 or 4 CPUs per GPU. Now you're going to need about 8 because agentic workflow is very heavy in terms of CPUs. Last but not least here, there was one little area that could be of concern. Intel reported a net loss of $3.7 billion, but that was largely due to one-time charges related to its stake in Mobileye, and it had to pay the government a dividend because, well, they took a bit of a stake in there. But other than that, that was a one-line item, probably not going to reoccur.
That's how they do it now, apparently. So new highs and then some for Intel today, guys. What do we do here?
It's funny because last night we were like, okay, if it can just manage to hold on to like the prior all-time high, as I had to reload my chart there. If it can just hold on to the prior all-time high, I think it could be good to go. It's that wick that's bothering me. And it's so far above it that the gap fill could be tremendous. It was about 76-ish, somewhere around the $76 range was the all-time high. They still lost like $4 billion. Like it's worth considering. The run up into this has been, I mean, nothing short of amazing. So the growth, good, great, gap profitability, fantastic. This feels like sell and not profit take is what I'm getting at. I feel it. We've seen this with big time gap ups here, oftentimes where it's just a little bit of an inside day or a slight flush to the downside. I don't think we see the 76. The overnight resistance was basically right here, so you've already pulled in that gap. I don't know if we get the classic pop and fade. Like when I was thinking that, we were sitting right at 86, and I was like, okay, well if it fails that top right away, just look for that gentle downtrend. Because I think it could end up being oddly disappointing today on Intel with this gap. We've seen that before, and I wouldn't be surprised. So I'm looking for that initial pop and fade trade. I think it's a great sign. The quarter is fantastic, the numbers and all that. I just feel like it's gone a little bit too far, too fast. And the exuberance, a sign of the exuberance is even how far it was able to pull up some of the other semis. Because that was another shocking aspect of this, in addition, was how far AMD went up, how far ARM was up on sympathy. Like ARM was up 7% when the stock had been insane 2 days going into this. Like I can see people on a Friday ringing that register. So I'm looking for that pop and fade trade. If it doesn't happen, there's plenty of other places that'll be fantastic to get to. Like I like IBIT today. I'm going to be trading some silver again. But yeah, Intel, I think you ring the register.
Yeah, no, I was, so here we go. So people asking, come on, man, can I get a day back over here? People wanting the sticky note out, so here it is. It is now out. I have Intel 87 long. I just wrote down if we break the top, right? And that didn't happen, so now it's kind of getting faded here, which means the next, well, didn't mean to close that. We'll look at the next stage, the 200 period on the 1 minute chart. That's generally been a good support area for me on trading, you know, some of these moving names where you can't really get in because it's moving a little bit or you're at all-time highs and the air is clear up there, you know, like there's nothing up here to say, oh, well, you know, this is what we're going to bounce off of or anything like that. So Intel, as Neil just mentioned with ARM, you know, both these names, I just looked at ARM, I was like, wow, over $200. It seems like it's getting a little carried away, but the numbers are there to back it up. So I had no idea where the 200 period was going to go, so now it looks like we're getting closer and closer to the open. So I would say $80. So you're $4 away from that top break there at $87, and you're $2 or $3 away now from a bottom area that's probably going to be support. So I want to trade names that are active. I want to trade names that are doing volume. I want to trade names that are at all-time highs, that have catalysts. I mean, you know, we go over some of these videos and we talk about what makes a good trade, and I think Intel's kind of setting up right now today for everything. Whether or not you like the shorts or the longs here, there's going to be volume. There's definitely catalyst. There's definitely surprise. So I like this $80 level. That's just where the 200 period is. I could see myself holding off on this until I almost, did I write down a time? No, I didn't. But I was going to write down like 9:45, 10 o'clock, like something where the first couple minutes we let the big money flatten this thing out, whether or not they want it to rip or they want to take some profits. Fine by me, but let it settle down so that we can, you know, as prop traders can jump in and take advantage of hopefully some sort of a support or maybe this is resistance, right? So I'm gonna wait for 87 to break. 87 was made at about 6 a.m. or so this morning, right here. Since I started the charts up at 7, the high's been 86.50. So we'll see if we can break back above there. But yeah, you gotta like Intel today, that is for sure. But either way, I could see it fading back out and being, you know, getting hit on the short side as well. So let's let it develop, right? Well, first look, it will be at 80 or a top break of 87. I like it when it's this easy, so we'll just do that, and we have a game plan. When we're in the trade, we'll discuss where our outs are, but I think $2 or $3 worth of risk on this name is probably pretty appropriate for a day like today, if not a little bit more. But you don't want to be holding the bag because just because you believe it's a long, like if it breaks through 80, then our support is gone for now. And then you look to see what was going on here after hours when they did report. So 78 or so. But I'm going to look at 80. If it loses 80, we can rethink about this trade. But that's what I'm going to do there for Intel.
Before we go back to the debt,
let's do this.
There's an IPO today, and not every IPO matters, but X Energy, it's a small modular name. So suffice to say that would be in a sector that we actually think has a little bit of hype, and it's 900,000. It's just shy of $1 billion in size, so it's a decent size. It's in our system today, and someone was asking what time do they open up. The best guess is usually between 11 and 1:30. Like if it's past, it's always before 2 o'clock at the absolute latest, and there was a couple that were before noon. While you were gone, like one of them like oddly early, like it was right after we finished the morning show.
Did any of them do well, or?
I want to kick. There was one of the best one, and it was the drone one. It was easy money, but it opened right in the wrong window. It was like exactly, when you're like just get up because it's not going to open until later, and then it did open at that time, and I wanted to break something. Okay. It doesn't really matter. But this one, because it's an SMR, like small modular reactor name, it's a nuclear name. I think it's going to have some hype behind it. That's XE. We'll let you guys know what the tap is. It's way too early for any of that, and probably will not start considering that it could open around 11 o'clock. The semis are open, and they are all flying, as you guys have already seen. The best way to think about strength in the semiconductors names is if you're not, if you own a semi stock and it isn't up today, you own the wrong one.
Probably, yeah.
There's probably none of them.
Precisely. What does this mean for the rest of the group? What does the Intel report mean for the rest of the group? I mean, there's an individual note on AMD this morning, just an absolute monster with Intel after the close yesterday.
Absolutely. You got to assume some of the move up obviously was in sympathy with that, but they got their own independent upgrade today. D.A. Davidson upgrading AMD from neutral to buy and boosting that price target markedly from 220 to 375. That's a major sentiment shift. Here's why. They say the core driver is the accelerating AI infrared demand, and AMD's really gaining credibility as an AI accelerator challenger to Nvidia. Meta's partnership as well, a $100 billion build-out signals AMD scaling into that kind of gigawatt level compute supply. Their data center growth outlook looking at growing at 68% this year. So fantastic look there. Separately, I want to bring in Taiwan Semi as well, Brendo, because Taiwan Semi got into all-time highs. Reason is, at least, partially, the decision by Taiwan's Financial Supervisory Commission to loosen fund allocation limits. So what they're doing is there used to be a cap on single stock holdings, either by domestic equity funds or ETFs, to a maximum of 10%. They boosted that up to 25%. So more inflows coming.
Why not?
Why not?
Just more and more people welcome. The day that Nvidia is the laggard, guys, feels a little bit weird, but we'll take it.
Yeah, well, you know what? It's just we're getting used to it at this point. To say that Nvidia has been left is an understatement at this point. I think there's only so many times you can mention it or mock what's the move now from 170? Call it 16, maybe 17% from the lows, and it looks god awful. It looks absolutely awful relative to everything else. There's just no other way to put it. Nvidia has been an utter disappointment. You can say all you want about it being relatively cheap. It doesn't make a difference. I feel this. I'm not going to say that I feel the same way about AMD as Intel, that there'll be some profit takers, but I'd be utterly shocked if there wasn't. And especially its ARM is the one that's getting me here. When they said they're making their own chips for the first time, the idea was, and they immediately had said that this extra revenue was coming multiple years down the line. And it was a little bit of a little check back, and it looked like it was going to be structured like it's always been. Instead, you have a monster breakout. This is an absolute monster breakout on the higher time frame. ARM held this range from basically the beginning of 2024, and it was always the same range. And now that you've got this breakout, the move was about $90 to $100, the range that it sat in. So I think the upside is to close to $300 here. I just feel like there's going to be some ringing of the register today. Probably a better trade over in Intel, because I think Intel will have so much volume, it'll give you multiple shots and much more opportunity. But if this loses shelf on ARM, I could see at least a pullback into the 210 range. And the shelf is about 215, 216, maybe a little bit higher than that. That's just a dark pool wick in there. Lots of those. Actually more like 217. But yeah, I think this one is also in the register. But that daily and the weekly chart on ARM looks fantastic. Can't wait to see what this does in the next quarter. But today, I'm thinking it's a little bit too far.
I was looking at Nvidia and thinking like, it's too heavy to go. It's too heavy. There's too many traders in this name. I don't know if it's going to go or not, but we definitely like that move. I mean, it's had a good move. It's just, I don't know if it's going to go anymore. So this is a name that I'm a little bit, I don't want to say concerned with, but I just think there's too many people in Nvidia right now. Like there's no doubt this should be moving a bit more than maybe it has been. So I'm a little concerned about Nvidia, and I don't necessarily want to get into that stock right now at these levels. I just feel like if there is a pullback at some point, obviously these other names are going to pull back more dramatically than Nvidia, but this has already gone up so much more dramatically than NVDA, right? I mean, AMD, like again, like getting some out, it was not here, it was into here when we last got into 250. You know, that turned out to be a decent trade at the time, but then no reload there at the 200 period, and now you're just up and away for advanced micro devices. So I think you got to let all these things kind of calm down a little bit. I mean, if Intel's pulling back, I think AMD does too. It's up 11%, like that's a lot of sympathy there. I mean, I know there's always these little stories, but 11%, that seems too much. SOXL as well here today. I mean, going for its 18th straight up day, 18 straight days there for SOXL. Like, what are we even talking about right here? You know, you wonder why you trade the triple TQQs or anything like that. Like, look at this levered product right here. This was March 31st. So you're talking about like 2.5, 3 weeks. You go from 40, caught my throat there. Yeah. $40 to $130 right now. So, I mean, it's congratulations to anybody that got on this train real early, man. That break rate, I mean, whatever, this little bump up, I mean, you're getting gapped up here. So maybe if you're not in down here, fine. But there's our 200 period moving average chilling out. I mean, it just showed you what it looks like on AMD. But it didn't triple, this tripled. And then right into there, this break, I guess, would have been the trade, right? Of April 9th or 8th, something like that. Right around there, boom, to the upside. And there it goes. And you're up, I mean, the numbers are saying for itself again, up another 12%. So this just continues to get excited, man. Nice upside play there for SOXL today, just breaking higher. Yeah, this might be the thing to look at as well. There's your 200 period over there at 122. So I'm looking at the 200 period on basically all of these names. I'm not going to go, we already went over Intel, but it's these kind of plays. Let's see if it settles down. We've trusted this line for a while. Let's see if it wants to work out. I mean, even yesterday, I didn't look at it yesterday, but here's the pullback. Obviously, the first 5 minutes, pretty wild, but there's the pullback like I was talking about. This is AMD. Wait, and I said on Intel, I didn't even do this yet. This is the first time I pulled back from yesterday. But wait for things to come in, maybe settle down a little bit, give us the 200, and then we can go. All right, what happens in the afternoon happens in the afternoon, but that's what I'm looking for early, is pullbacks into key levels like your 200 period moving average. So I think AMD might find one here around, AMD around 330.
Back to the upside we go here this morning, back above 376. Currently trying to hold this area from yesterday. Ended up being an absolutely nothing day yesterday after the big move down following the earnings report. I mean, there's some manufacturing notes this morning. There's some positive analyst notes this morning. If we go back to the spend that we learned about on the earnings call, I was reading an interesting take this morning. It's actually, they're spending more than a Rivian. So it's the entire market cap of Rivian.
I believe that.
They're going to spend in a year. And as you were saying yesterday, potentially a little bit more than that.
I'm not buying that $25 billion. Just seeing what others are spending and how much they're having to fork over. And he wants to build an entire fab, not a data center, and having to buy all the AI tools. The chip-making tools that come along with it. We'll see. My guess is he's just pulling forward some of the initial spending, and then we're going to see the real spending down the line. But 3 headlines today for Tesla. First, they did begin production of the Cybercabs. We don't have an exact number of when to expect them en masse, but Elon basically saying on X that we're going to expect about several hundred of these per week. Secondly, Elon on the call, something I didn't cover yesterday, basically articulated how if you have version 3 hardware, meaning if you bought your Model 3 or your Model Y before 2024, you're going to be able to actually have FSD. However, there's going to be a couple of things, Brent. First, they're either going to create these micro factories in major metro areas capable of updating the older cars with the latest computers, or they're going to offer you a discounted trade-in for a newer car. He didn't specify, though, if you had paid outright for FSD, whether you'd be able to move that into the newer car or you'd have to pay again. So we'll have to wait and see on that detail. And lastly here, an upgrade from DZ Bank, boosting Tesla from a hold to hold from sell, pardon me, and a $385 price.
I mean, it should be transferable, you would think.
I would hope so.
It should be transferable if you bought it outright, but not much action to look at so far.
I'm with you, Brennan. I think it should be transferable. It makes a lot of sense to me. But that being said, Tesla, you could call it a nothing burger yesterday, but there was quite a lot of action off that 385, and it was, basically just look to where the prior support was, and then you had a fade there. I think it needs to chew through that to look good today. So I'm looking. Everybody's looking at the chip names today, and I think at the open, rightfully so. Like you pick the chips that you're looking at. I mean, I like IBIT today, and we're going to get involved in that one almost for sure. But Tesla, if it does another one of these false breakouts in the low 80s on a Friday, I think that gives you an obvious place to go for a. Yeah, what's going on with Qualcomm here? Sorry, guys. Yeah, Qualcomm. You know the levels on Tesla, so I'm not gonna repeat myself again there. But Qualcomm, it's not that other things aren't going to, but this is a little bit unusual. Whereas I haven't seen or heard anything specifically. Like you're gonna tell me that this is like some later sympathy, potentially. Like that's the only thing. Yeah, like the only thing I saw was some sympathy to Intel, but clearly in the last few minutes that kind of went ham because Intel's actually been trending down pretty much all morning long, and QCOM now 13%. It's not that it's up 13%; it's more that it's been doing it in the last few minutes here. So I don't see or hear anything in particular with regards to them. We'll keep our ear to the ground, obviously, but yeah, QCOM, another name. This is a getting off the schneid name. There have been some concerns about the handset space in terms of their growth there. Like this has been a laggard for so long. Watch out for maybe 155, 156. That's a pretty big level if it gets up there. But yeah, we'll have to see if there's any news. I certainly wouldn't want to be chasing that. Oh, we got some super chats here from QuickieBot. Max Line, MaxL we did mention. OGN we have not. That's actually a little bit better volume than when we were looking at MXL, which was up big on earnings. I think it was like 50% the last we checked. OGN has a bit of a flat top. It's not a flat top, triple top breakout that it has set up for it. So it's a good look on OGN. Still curious about this Qualcomm news. It's doing it by itself, and it's doing it without anything too crazy. But yeah, like I said, MXL on those earnings with a 10% short flow does look pretty solid. And then OGN, what was the catalyst here? Did they report as well?
We have that on the watch list?
I don't think we had Organon on the watch list. We had, no.
We had CTNT.
Yeah, Max Linear was on the watch list. But no, they did report. They reported yesterday. Why are they moving today? Yesterday in the morning. But why is it moving this morning?
That Max Linear was $17.
Yeah. 10% short flow with Max Linear, though.
Yeah, in April. Yeah, that's a huge move. Yeah, so Tesla today, we've seen them come back in. Looks like it does have some bouncing areas here that we could potentially look at from yesterday. So, we will be looking at the chip names more specifically. We're going to have to go because we have a couple more names here to go through. But, yeah, what about just 370? Looking to get some of these bottom wicks here and see if those play. I'm a little nervous. Like I wrote down on the note here, the sticky note's now out. I'll post up again. Oh, yeah, here, I just post a little picture of the family here. You guys can go over to Twitter and have a quick little look right there, as we had some great days there. So it's going to be up on Instagram and up on whatever this is called, X. But yeah, I had Intel, Nvidia, TQs, and DraftKings. But see, I have the TQs down here to 60, thinking that, we could get a little bit of a fade there today early. Like the Nasdaq was already started to come back in. We were up. This is just a 1 minute chart. We were already up like one and almost a half, I was going to say, maybe 1.4% at one point. So I was thinking that we could get a move back in also on the TQs, and that's where I was looking over here in and around the $60 mark where your 200 period moving average is down there on a 5 minute chart. It's pretty choppy though in and around this area. So I think that if, we've seen a stock like Tesla really move off the open, and so just, I think that's a good dip zone there. So there's yesterday, right? We opened up at 376. Look how, we went down $5 and then ripped $12 to the upside there before eventually retracing, right? So I think Tesla has the opportunity to do that again. And if it does do that, then I'd be looking in and around here, 372, 372.50 down there for Tesla. And don't be afraid to take it. I think there's some reasons in there to go long. Yeah, for today, it's up 0.6. I like the stock. Any stock that's up today should, I think pull back a little bit, and then we'll see if we can catch a bid. But Tesla, not a bad story. I like the long. HIMS. Yeah, we just talked about that a little bit earlier with the GLPs and some of this movement there on him. So let's go find the story with the guys and we'll look at a chart.
Yeah, I got to go back 2 days, but what a move it was. About this time, in fact, in the pre-market on that note, we were talking about more products, more product lines coming to the website. I mean, this thing has been just, if you zoom out a little bit here, this thing has just been absolutely parabolic as well.
Oh, yeah.
20 up to 32 in the past couple of weeks here.
Yeah, that's what happens when you hitch your wagon to Eli Lilly. And by the way, Brendo, I'm seeing a lot of comments coming in from TikTok. So loving the fact that we're seeing a lot of TikTok viewers. Obviously, yeah, welcome. Growing on that platform as well. Shout out to everybody on TikTok, guys. But here's the deal: Bank of America today raising the firm's price target on HIMS and HERS to 32 from 30, but they're keeping that same neutral rating. They're happy that they're offering access to Eli Lilly's Zepbound vials as well as QuickPen and Foundayo. They did note, however, in a footnote to their press release that there's no formal partnership. And that any licensed healthcare professional could actually prescribe to the Lilly Direct Pharmacy. Doesn't just have to be from HIMS and HERS, but it is nice to have that sort of informal partnership. That's why they kept the neutral rating as opposed to a buy.
I don't know why this continues to be relevant, but apparently Michael Burry now owns Microsoft. If anyone cares. Just saw that pop up too, guys.
I mean, I own Microsoft. You own Microsoft?
I haven't bought Microsoft in a very long time, but I own Microsoft.
Okay.
But it's like,
So welcome to the club, Michael Burry.
everybody owns Microsoft. If you've been invested for a long time, you probably at some point own Microsoft. Like, again, they've just been one of the longest running big cap companies in top 10. But look, HIMS been extremely violent all week long. But I think if you're not trading it off of the range here, then I wouldn't know what to do with diddling in the middle. It seems like this is a fade. If it does that 32 push, it's gapped up, but it's not moving, and maybe you can find some support there. Like, just to pivot, because we only have 5 minutes left, I like some IBIT. If you're gonna go range-bound trading today, I'm looking for the dip on IBIT. It held at 43. It was about 43.5. It held that really well for a reversal yesterday, and then it was a good trend long before things got out of hand at lunchtime. It was trending long. All morning long it was trending, and then we had that big nasty turn in the market. So I'm looking for a dip buy here in IBIT. You've held on to 78,000, more importantly the 74,000. That run at 80, I think we can get another one. So, if it loses 43.60, I guess all bets are off there. But it's so far up that I got to be thinking about not just that dip, but the afternoon level of the 44. So there's a couple places I'll look to buy the dip there. HIMS is probably a pass for me, unless it gets to the edge of the range. Too much diddling in the middle.
HIMS is a 39% short float.
Yeah.
So that is available as well to those looking at that. There was another name on the watch list that I wanted to talk about, and I don't see it anymore. Sorry. It was a story related to it. It was just about Eli Lilly. Like, Eli Lilly's at this $900 mark, and I was just looking at it. It's a stock that obviously I like. I think this is going to be they got some more drugs in the pipeline. Their oral GLP drug there. I still think that's, sort of the way that technology works could be implemented into many different aspects. I mean, a lot of people are focused on the weight loss aspect of it, but there's still addiction, and there's a lot of different things that I think Eli Lilly is getting close and has already been there, looking at, solutions to adding possible names to their repertoire other than Ozempic. I don't even know if Ozempic's theirs, whatever theirs is, Wegovy or any of that. So we'll see if that can get going. But you're right, again, looking to buy good quality companies, which I believe Eli Lilly is one of those, at the 200 period moving average. So right around here, I mean, Novo Nordisk, I know, has been beat up a little bit as well. Let's try to make a move back. But I think Eli Lilly right around here, it's at a very dangerous level. I remember talking about this when we lost this shelf right here at 980. And we had a nice move down. But we lost the shelf, and now we've come into the 200 period, looking like it wants to absorb some of this. So for me, getting along around this $880 to $900 area seems seems to be something that we could support again. So Eli Lilly for the move higher here in and around 900 for LLY. So that's something that I want to look at there. And yeah, we'll see what happens moving forward here for Eli Lilly. A good opportunity. All right, man, there's only one more minute. Let's go back there for Palantir.
Intel was a 1.1 million sell imbalance. It just paired off. So I put in the chat that it was a sell. They just paired it off like 5-10 seconds ago, and it just popped like $1. So this one's going to be a mover for sure. We also have Palantir sellers.
Yeah, ugly day yesterday. Kind of a strange note here this morning on this, but on the back of what happened yesterday, I mean, it makes sense.
Yeah, campaigners, that's what they're being called, Brendo. Campaigners from Minneapolis calling on the Central Bank of Switzerland to offload its $1.1 billion investment in Palantir. The chairman of the bank basically said no, but he did caveat that by saying, naturally, they work only with customers that don't hurt the environment, violate fundamental human rights, or produce banned weapons. So we'll see if that factors in at all.
Chopping around still on a daily chart, guys, but relative weakness potentially here for Palantir.
It's not that relatively weak. I mean, it's 1%. It's moving almost as much as the Nasdaq, but I think yesterday was one of those. I really did want this to break out the top, but you can will things into existence. The market went up and it went down. It was relatively weak yesterday. I don't have it on my note, but I suppose if I was really interested in trading it, I would consider this a fade unless it's breaking out 147. But it's not on the note today. I'm much more interested in chips and IBIT and silver, and it's just going to be one of those. Oh, and we have the opening bell here. Remember, Intel had a 1 million sell imbalance and paired off. So it's going to have probably a lot of volatility off the open. Be patient with it. This is not your regular Intel. It's up 20 bajillion%, so the volatility is going to be in full force with this. So initial pushes to the upside. We didn't really talk about what's going on with energy. USO is down because things are looking a little bit better, but it's right in the middle at VWAP. So first things first, I'm probably looking at that IBIT dip. We'll see if that's going to end up happening. Intel, the volume is insane.
Yeah, we were looking at that $80 dip buy opportunity for that. I mean, it looks like it already went to $80 and change. So that's the level that we wrote down, but it did not come through for me while the market was open. There comes the Nasdaq screaming in a little bit. We did want to look at $60. We'll see if that comes in. We said that there could be a move down early, and it looks like it's happening a little bit right now to the Nasdaq. We'll wait to see if we get a $60 bid down in and around there. What's our good friend Tesla doing? That was going to be another name that we potentially were looking at. That's having a nice move down into 374 right now as well. But I don't know if that wick happened, but we did talk about buying some 372s. Okay, market just trying to fade, still up 1%. So we'll see if the Nasdaq wants to wind up holding that. But yeah, Intel still holding that bid and getting up to 84.50 right now. There goes Intel, bouncing sickly off that 200 period moving average, which is exactly what we had written down right there. Just too bad that it happens a little early. There's the Intel talk, looking near the 200 period on the 1 minute chart. So that hit perfectly, gave you $4 or $5. Let's see what winds up happening. We want it to settle down just a little bit right now. But yeah, things looking well early here, holding some bids.
We're going to go to Adair in a quick second. Remember Qualcomm? That's actually bouncing again. So it pulled back $6 and is now back to the upside. Still haven't found a particular story outside of just sympathy for Intel. Let's go to Adair.
I haven't seen anything on Qualcomm either. I was checking social media. It seems to mostly be social media hype as far as I can tell amidst the Intel run. I think a lot of people just confused as to why it's up. But I want to talk about the market here. A couple different pieces of news out of the Middle East already. Israel launching its second airstrike on southern Lebanon, even though, again, we heard that the countries are in a 3-week ceasefire. So if I get more details, I'll let you know. Also hearing that there are not going to be any U.S. and Iran talks taking place during the Iranian foreign minister's visit to Pakistan today. There's going to be apparently bilateral engagement. That's just being reported, and that's also coming from an Iranian source. So if I get more details from other sources, I will let you know. Guys, at 10 a.m., we get University of Michigan Consumer Sentiment prints. This is a number that can move the market. We know last UMich Consumer Sentiment was apparently the lowest reading that this metric's ever had. So we're going to have to wait and find out what happens next. Back to you.
All right,
what I expect
thanks.
to see
Thanks,
tomorrow.
Darren. We have new all-time highs for the Nasdaq, opened up, new all-time highs. You can see right here, Apple's saying what highs, as it's going a little lower here on Apple, down into 270. So we can wait to see what winds up happening with Apple down here, down 1%. Potentially the first fade play that I see right now. Like if we bounce to the high side, we'll fade it back down in as Apple's showing itself to be a little weak. On the note we did have, which of course I'm hitting enter on this, it's not going. We did have DraftKings looking at that 2050 level. That's going to the upside right now as well. The Nasdaq has bounced off some key levels. Intel, again, they already were down into this level, so we'll have to wait to see if we can settle down just a little bit. And probably advanced micro devices is probably a rocket ship.
No, it's
trying to break
one
through.
that broke the high was actually
ARM. I was going to say
ARM hit $230. I'm going to go to my plan B for a pullback on a chip name, and the plan B is SMCI is only up 3%. Remember, it was like if you're not up a lot and you're in the chip space and you're not breaking highs, and you should be like the other way. It's underneath VWAP, no breakout there, so like this might be a relatively weak one. Oh, and if there's any pops in energy, I'm doing the whole still short and boil. That's been downward trend forever. But nothing's really happened too much. We had that one headline, but USO barely moves. I don't think it's an energy play just yet. We're not really dipping on Bitcoin here. I don't want to pull the trigger. You're underneath VWAP, so relatively weak. I'll give it a chance to get into some lows. But the longer we hold out here, the more I start to think about just looking for the reversal and the long off the volume weighted average price. I was looking for the dip buy, but if there's no dip, then you just kind of got to get in. So I might end up taking a shot at this above the volume weighted average price, even if I had liked it pretty much significantly lower.
So here's the Nvidia note here, 199 to 200 area long. Low of the day, 199. Current price, 203. 199 to 200, it's pretty vague, but again, it comes in right there perfectly, right at the open. And again, there was a couple of sell imbalances there, so that created some action like that. It doesn't look like 199 was the low according to our chart, although we have it right there. But anyways, it got into 199.50, which would have been good enough for a buy. And there it goes, ripping upside to Nvidia. So we definitely want to play pullbacks into this one as well, into 201. The market's just off a little bit right now, obviously back up to the upside there. Nasdaq's nowhere near its highs of the day yet. Tesla, wow. Good thing we talked about that down there at 372. Still going. Tesla, see you later. Looks like they want to take out the top side of this one as well. That's not a horrible break there. 378 for Tesla, maybe going higher. Nvidia has a huge candle up like this as well. Everything right now is just Tesla, Nvidia, AMD, like everything now starting just to continue to blast northbound here. What's my guy MRVL doing as well? My level twos are pretty slow to change. There's MRVL 168, so that's a pullback for MRVL because they were up into the 174 area as well.
Level 2. The quotes on Intel are hilarious.
The quotes are just bouncing around everywhere.
How
much volume do we have?
Intel's quotes are insane. So I'm in a short and a long, but this IBIT, as it broke that VWAP, gonna give it to the prior bar. Again, like the level I really wanted was the bottom. If you can't get it, you can't get it. And the backup plan for fade was gonna be, is SMCI. I shouldn't say was gonna be. That also held on the VWAP in the other direction. Rowan speed, so how to handle AMD after Intel lifting. Oh, okay, there you go. Read the whole thing first. When there's no punctuation, sometimes it gets a little.
It can be hard, yeah.
When it's all sympathy, that's right. What is AMD CCO? That's the Canadian ADR.
Yeah, that's it.
The fourth thing on my drop down for when I type in AMD is the actual one that we want. I think when you have a sympathy play like this, if you're not paying attention to what's happening, and I'm not saying Intel is the futures, but look at these charts. So far in the 3-minute, these are pretty close to identical. So that's the way I would look at it. They're probably going to follow alongside each other. Don't fight any trend that you see happening in Intel.
All right, enough is enough. We're back, baby. There it is now, $1.20 in the money right now as a chicken dinner winner. $1.50 in the money, going higher. I was just like, Tesla's got to be here. There it is, breaking through 378. We talked about that break. I actually didn't take the break. I waited for it to come back in. So there goes Tesla right now. Boom goes the dynamite on Where is it? I don't know. First trade, man. $2 in the money right now on Tesla. There we go. So we're Absolutely doing it again here on TSLA right there. Now $2 and change in the money there on Tesla as we continue to go higher. Great to be back. Great to be doing this again here live with you. Thanks everybody for the continued support on the show. And there it goes. You're right, glass half full, man. We are back. We are back in the building. We are back ready to rock and roll. So, thank you so much for the support of the show. Thanks to Joe, Neil, and everything like that, holding down the fort. And then there's $1 right there on $2 on Tesla, the very, very first trade that we made there on our way back. So, yeah, man, we missed you as well. We missed everybody when we were gone, but we had a great vacation. We're glad to be back and trying to make back some of those pesos right now. $2.40 now in the money. There, $3 winner right there. Welcome back. It goes upside right there for this name as it just continues to get goes. And yeah, you are right, front porch trader, man. Who the hell does come back on a vacation, from vacation on a Friday? But we are back, baby, and we're ready to rock and roll right now. So there it goes, man. Thank you for all the nice words. But it's $2.50. We're starting to clear a little bit out here. Don't want to get too greedy on this play. We've done quite well right there on it. So let's just start to cover. We're out of half of our Tesla trade.
That's that fade zone that it came into yesterday. I had 82 to 86. 86 is that top. I still like the topping tail candle on Tesla. So a great long, but I like that reversal if we're able to get it. And IBIT is looking like it's holding, but if we're going to the upside, SMC ISL, which was the backup plan, because I didn't want to be in Intel early, short and give it to the high. This one wants to take out that high. We'll take it, yeah. SMCI, yesterday, we got it a couple times late, and I feel like that might be the better opportunity. Like, it was early, not so much of a great trade, and then it was a better one twice late. Part of it was the market helping me out, let's be real about it, but we'll take the quick L on that one. And I'm gonna go over to Tesla, because I didn't think this would be first, but it is first in terms of the actual like big time parabolic move up. It was at 82 to 86, it got the curl, so any break of the high, and I'll look for that topping tail candle. And Intel has pretty much been, I don't wanna call it a nothing burger, but it hasn't run the high of the day. It's very slowly grinding higher. I'd say rather, it's not boring because it's giving you a $2 range, but I'm gonna call it disappointing. I thought there'd be a bigger gap fill, maybe to the prior all-time high range, which was about 76. So if there's no break of the high, then there's no fade. That's not gonna be like a VWAP style trade. We'll just hang on to IBIT. That's just holding inside of the range for now. It bounced off of the lows, and we're trying to grab it into the high, see if we can run it into yesterday's top, and then look for an extension a little bit later. The Nasdaq bouncing pretty well as well here. That's looking good. You get USO, which is barely moving too. Nasdaq
looking real good over here. All right, so again, cleared out of it. We talked about being at a half. Here comes a pullback in now for Tesla, so a good call on the pullback. Yeah, just the Nasdaq still going higher. I don't necessarily want to drop this, so we'll get a little bit out there as we break back through 380. Now back into the downside. So here comes Tesla right back again. We can get out, right, if this breaks lower. I think that's probably a good strategy right now to see what happens in and around some of these levels right now for Tesla. So 377, that's where your 25 period moving average is on a 1 minute chart. That's something that we look at. I'm just looking at some more charts up here. 376, 375 area or so, but coming right back in. And that's why sometimes you take advantage of it. Look at what the Nasdaq's doing. Not much right now, and this is pulling back quite aggressively. So let's go over and have a quick little look at Intel, see if that's sort of following. No, Intel's not really. Pretty boring so far for INTC. I'm going to take one more piece out there, make that $1 there on one more piece and get a little lighter now as we have about 30% left now on TSLA. Let's let it run there. We didn't reload it there. We could have. I was waiting for something a little lower there on the reload for that one there. But all right, there goes Intel. Sorry, there goes AMD. See some people in the chat talking about it.
AMD and ARM.
Yeah, AMD breaking the highs now as well. So it's
not. Yeah, Intel's not the one today.
No,
look, it's up 20. Look, whatever. Intel's up 24%. So obviously, it's the one. You know what I mean when I'm saying that. Since the open, it's been like you're looking left, and it's like it's going right, and it's AMD and it's ARM. So I think you got to pay a little more attention to these two. ARM looks like it's pulling back first, so a hold of VWAP would be pretty key there. Keep an outside look on what's going on with oil here. If this breaks, if we break through VWAP and maybe resume this downtrend, I think then we're going to get back into those highs, especially if these chip names look strong. So that's the first place I'm going to look. And if we do, if there is ever a pop, I still have this notion of getting some free money in that boil, but it's not coming to the upside. This has been really, really distinctly, absurdly downward trending, but you need energy strength for at least a little bit, and then you can get some kind of a pop and fade. We didn't even go talk about CAR.
No, we didn't. What was going on?
No, it's a double bottom. Remember, this is going to be SSR today, and it's sitting on a major level on the daily. If you go back far enough, it's a prior high at about $217. That held yesterday, so there's a potential for a flat bottom break or simply an SSR bounce play. A 250 break on CAR actually looks really good, but it's 10% away from that. It could happen. This thing can move 10%, no problem. It's just not anywhere close. We have Radial Fossa. Day 2, Oklo earned 15% yesterday. Good luck, everyone. The nuclear name I'm interested in today is that XC IPO. It's a small modular reactor name, but don't get me wrong, Oklo was big time mover, so was SMR. But that IPO today should be pretty spicy.
Yeah, SOXL. Yeah, SOXL has 17 straight up days or so from what I counted. Yeah, not doing a whole heck of a lot. I mean, thanks for the look at SOXL right now. We've talked about what Intel was doing in and around these levels, and it wasn't a whole hell of a lot either. So it looks like we may break actually a little bit lower right now. We had written down Intel, if it does break through 87, I mean, there's nowhere, it's not near that. So I think we can probably scratch that. We said we look at Intel in and around now to see if and when we get a base for INTC. It looks like we're trying to get one right now, and it is near this 200 period moving average. So kind of like what Intel's been doing. I would have rather it kind of made a big move back in right now instead of just kind of barcoding like it's doing right now. I would have liked for it to make a run and then come back in. And it did that a little bit, but it's only moving about $1 and change right now for INTC. This is going to be maybe dangerous about breaking this level. I actually...
It looks like a short.
That's what I'm saying. I actually don't mind a short here potentially.
I should short this.
Here for Intel. So that would be something.
I wanted a false break of the high, but if it's not going to break the high, it's at VWAP now.
I'm going to get another piece. I'm getting another piece out here of Intel. Sorry, Tesla. It's just now trying to break through again through this 378 level. So we'll take another out at 379. Just trying to make sure that we don't hold the bag on the way back down. So right now I only have, like I was saying, now about 25% or so left on this trade, so we can have a look over there. Seeing silver moving. I know you mentioned it earlier. I didn't get too much of a chance to look at silver, so there's a little bit of a tag into VWAP for SLV right now. Not really hearing anything. Bitcoin's not, well, you're in IBIT. Bitcoin not doing a whole heck of a lot right now. Silver trying to break above VWAP, so that could be a decent look here for SLV as we continue. All right, Tesla just gave me one more out right there at 380.50. So again, $2 in the money on this one. This is the only trade I've had on so far as we continue to look around. We did have DraftKings potentially mentioned as a short there today, and that's
it wasn't the
upside. So there was a Joe brought it to us. There was an upgrade or downgrade.
Oh, it was a downgrade, but it wasn't a news story.
No, nothing too dramatic here to worry too much about.
This range is hilarious on Intel.
Yeah, so I don't know what to do. I mean, I know you have the trade there.
So it's got someone flashing kind of back and forth, 83.5 to 83. It's in a bit of a scalp range with VWAP sitting at 84. So it's just going back and forth. I'm trying to get reloaded on the offer and try to bid out. Because right now it's trying to decide what it wants to do, and the market's bouncing and looking strong. You know what? If you're going to get off the offer, because I see an uptick in the market, and if I see a downtick, get back in and try to get picked back up. Maybe just scalping inside of the range will be the way to go. Wow, they're really flashing all these buys. Our quotes can barely even keep up with this sucker.
Yeah, how many shares is that?
It's done. It feels like it's done more than this, but it's done 70 million in volume already, and it's only 946.
Yahoo!
That is insane volume. Yeah, there's someone auto buying this thing in front of 83. Are you kidding me?
Oh, that's
so it gets to 83.01, and then of course the second I scalp out, that buyer stops. They were flashing it back up 50 pennies at a time on Intel. It's complete insanity.
No, it's this market. Thank you so much, William. Missed you guys as well, man. And I mean, it's great to be back. There, we just got an 82 fill. We just got the high of the day. There's your face slapper there for Tesla. We're in one trade today, man. We're up $3.50, trying to bring the trades, trying to bring the energy. We're feeling pretty good, man, about being back here. And so, you guys really helped feed it to me there. So welcome back, everybody on the chat. Thank you for all the kind words. And, thank you, Tesla, for this wonderful one break trade. I mean, there it goes right there. Upside breaks that high of the day. I waited for it to fill back in a little bit. We had some support down here, so it was all good as we get lighter and lighter now on this trade, 20% left. But there goes Tesla, man. If you don't sit at the highs, you don't sit where you want to get filled, sometimes you don't get filled. So you got to put your offers out there, and there it goes for TSLA. So it's great to be back. Thanks, everybody, for the welcome messages. All right, Palantir, I mean, 141, that wants to bounce off there. Looks like fine, but still underneath, man. And we got that question Neil asked earlier about like which stock, and Palantir would have been one of the least favorites of mine. And we did talk, look, Palantir last year we put up 167% in that contest that we had, and it was pretty much all Palantir. We had the Dow. We had some other good calls last year as well. I think we had Google, Palantir.
Yeah, you were literally all Palantir because Dow and Coinbase basically canceled each other out. One was slightly stronger, one was slightly weaker, but it was pretty much all Palantir.
Yeah, so, and that's what I was saying about this year, is that it's like, just like MRVL now is 100% up since those picks. No, Palantir, I wonder if competition's caught up a little bit to it, right? We talked about those other LLMs and what's been going on there. So a little nervous hands there with Palantir. So we'll see if that one wants to break a little bit lower. But hey, man, no Palantir, no cry, because right now it is 1, it is 2, it is 3, it is 4. As Drake says, what did I miss? There goes Tesla right now, 382.50. We flying, baby. So this is the trade of the day for me right there, as Tesla now up $4 in the money. I don't know if you got this one, Joseph, over there, but there it goes, man. It's Tesla ripping. You've got IBIT. Let's see if this market really wants to fly bit here, but there it goes. Meta, 10% of workforce I saw yesterday laid off.
By the way, I'm going to continue to look for the pop and fade here on Intel. Intel is just slowly grinding lower. It's like someone is buying this up every time it dips, but I feel like you can just sort of try to get picked up on the offer and slide back down. I am out of it for now, but it is distinctly different from what's happening in the market. We're, again, slow grind to the downside. Even ARM is starting to pull back. Like, I know we were led, like ARM pulled into the volume weighted average price, and AMD is starting to turn. So I'm not really thinking about the longs anymore, at least not in the chip names. IBIT doesn't really go. I said we wait for 44, and I didn't wait. We took it at VWAP like we did yesterday. It is what it is. Like, if VWAP, this actually pattern held much, much better in yesterday's trade. Like, you get the dip, you get the VWAP rip, and it made the high. You get the dip, you get the VWAP rip. It's exactly the same setup. It's just that IBIT's not nearly as strong. But if Intel's going to go down, then I got to pivot to, and I can't get that offer, which we're still on, then I'm going to pivot to a trend break on AMD or ARM, and I don't care which one does it. Whichever one is going to give up the ghost at this point, I'm willing to take it. You've seen Broadcom is pulling back as well. It's weird because the market's bouncing off VWAP. Like, the Qs are strong, but you've got like Broadcom dying, Intel trend down, and most of the other big time chip names really pulling back here pretty precipitously.
There it is right there. Now we're $4.50 on this. We just take another out. Now we're $5 on Tesla. This name has gone absolutely insane. Let's have a look at Rivian really quickly here, just to see if there's anything else going on in this space. I don't know. I'm surprised at Oppo. I'm surprised there. Fishing report, shorting MSTR, BMNR, welcome back. Well, you're gonna have to fight Neil. Oh, you were just in and out of, you were IBIT, but shorting MSTR right there, BMNR.
Oh, you've been short all week.
Oh, okay, yeah. So
that's JKL. I know you've been shorting MSTR. Well, it's definitely looking better today than it was yesterday. That's for sure, because it was literally the opposite move in Bitcoin. It's doing the opposite, well, not really. Like, it's trying to do the opposite move. Like, yesterday, it was all up, and then we had that massive market turn, which changed literally everything. It didn't matter what you were doing. When we got that spike in USO, like, everything just turned into a short, and there was not much you can do about it. But the MSTR is going to be that outside move that you're looking for. Do still want to keep those eyeballs on the chip names, at least for myself. As I said, the market isn't really doing much. Okay, here comes AMD trying to break the trend. So there's a double top, triple top, let's call it, and let's redraw the trend line because I did not hit save after. So that looks something like this. Like, you are confirming a break of trend. It just doesn't feel as strong as we did before. And I'm no longer getting picked up on Intel. Like, I can't even seem to get a pop. They were buying it on successive dips, and you can't even get it anymore. So I'm going to sneak in to AMD, just looking for a bit of a retracement here on that trend break. Up 12%. Like, obviously, it's having a great day, like the rest of the chip names are. But the way I saw Broadcom drop, just insanity. If we can get filled, it'd be about $1 to VWAP if I can get the fill on the volume weighted average price. Then we look for LOD.
Yeah, let's look around as well for some more trades here. Okay, we just looked at Rivian. I'm trying to see if there's anything hitting. PayPal was a pretty hot stock before I left. We can see what's going on right now with PayPal. As you're always trying to find names that are going to give you some $50, some kind of a juice. So right now the juice is loose right now on PayPal, up to $50. So nice little call there.
Look at the daily.
Yeah, there it goes right now, but busting around. It did get to 51 and change. So PayPal doing okay. Right now, as you can clearly see that there's some love here for PYPL back now. Block XYZ would have been something else as well. Oh, come on. That's on New York. We can see what's going on there. $70 for them. So not a bad move there for... Oh, wow. You know what's moving right now? Netflix is mooning here with the Nasdaq pulling right back into decent level. There goes Netflix right now, 93 and change, taking out the day's high right there. The pre-market highs of 93 coming in right there for Netflix. And there it goes, trying to take out this level, 93.20s. Or so there for NFLX. That looks like that one trying to get going there as well. And then just to have a look at your BMNR.
People didn't like it. I'm telling you, Netflix.
Why, man? You asked me, it was almost right away.
I think it's just it wasn't sexy enough.
Okay.
And Netflix just isn't sexy.
Well, we got to bring sexy back then because that one is great. Yeah, there's BMNR, the short that you were talking about there, JK. That looks like your little printer on that one as well here today. Depends when you shorted it, of course, but nicely up 1% over yesterday, but nice little move lower there for anybody looking at our good friend Netflix. I mean, we love Netflix. BMNR there with Ethereum. So a good little level there. Google's been a favorite of many portfolios, and let's just see if it wants to get going here as well. There's Google, 339. Did flash lower here today. Now looks like it wants to be a little bit better of a level here for for Google, coming back into 339. Nice little bottom tick, 335, 336, reminding me of that move that Tesla early had, and then the bounce back up. So Google looking pretty good. That's near some levels here as well. Yeah, Amazon's been an awesome
Amazon
stock.
had a meta story this morning. It's losing VWAP. Never mind. I'm a jinx. Amazon had been pressing the highs all morning long, but I guess no longer. The Nasdaq just lost the volume-weighted average price. Although AMD's doing a decent job of trying to hold it, that first buck. But there's a Nasdaq. I've done this all week. I'm pointing at the chart like it's an effect. You guys don't see it.
It's like a touch screen.
I know, it's like a touchscreen. So the trend break on AMD just got to the volume-weighted average price. Gonna look for the low. And again, it's a bit of a double bottom at that 337. Someone just said, what's the TP? I'm assuming you don't mean toilet paper. You probably mean price target.
I would assume that's probably right, yeah.
Yeah, take profit, right? Price target, take profit, same thing. But I'm looking for the low. Like it's a trend break, and a trend break on an uptrend in a sector that is strong, I'm playing this into the support level. VWAP is the first. The second is right in front of this 336, 337 range that we're seeing. And keep in mind, this isn't even the strongest of them. The strongest of them had been ARM. Never mind. ARM is right back into the low. So looking for that retracement. And if Intel continues any further, $76 on Intel was about that prior high if you go all the way back to the daily chart. I forget what year you had to go back to. It was so far back, it was in the 2000s.
Oh, no.
Oh, was it? Yeah, you know what? I don't even remember the date. It was a very, very long time ago to go back to that prior all-time high. But I think that could be a good bounce zone for Intel.
All right, we got reloaded a little bit here on Tesla, so I don't know. Let's see what winds up happening. We did get something there, a little bit at VWAP at 378.50. That's essentially, that's not essentially where we are, but that's where we're trying to get to, back to the upside there. And then we did get a little bit more there at 377.50. So I just put a little bit on, not really reloading this too much. I still want to see this 376. I'm looking at 375, and then honestly, if we break 374, I want to get out. I don't want to be part of all this, man. If we continue to break lower, we've seen, unfortunately, a couple times here where this stock has broken my back, so we don't need to do that right now. So we'll wait to see what winds up happening with Tesla. So we're long right now, gonna get longer around 375. We have Michigan, right, coming out?
This is one of those where this is might look bad at the end of the day. But it's
getting out
whatever.
of AMD?
Well, look, man, it's an upward trending stock. It's a trend break, and it's to that opening range support level. It is bouncing off of that support, at least for now. But we'll look for. I'm just going to look for the next opportunity. It wasn't like an all-day trend break or anything.
There's Randy saving the day, man. There's Randy.
Thank you, Randy.
This guy's the
Thanks,
best.
brother.
Thank you, Randy. All right, what's up, Adara?
What's up, guys, is not the market as of right now. Obviously, we're still green on the day, but we are pushing a little bit lower here. It's worth noting yesterday when we had all of these wild volatile moves in oil, it started around the time we started seeing reports and rumors that the parliamentary speaker of Iran, Galibaf, would be resigning from the negotiating team between Iran and the U.S. Now, we actually now have Iranian officials denying those reports, saying that they were just rumors aimed at, quote, disturbing public opinion. So to be aware here, it looks like Galibaf is still going to be on that Iranian negotiation team. Now, he is a key figure in this team. With 3 minutes until the University of Michigan Consumer Sentiment print, I'll send you back over to the guys.
All right, thank you, Adara. Yeah, we're getting that. That's coming out. So we're going to wait to see there what winds up through. And I don't necessarily, that's why we're not trying to like average in and go crazy here with the amount of shares or anything like that. Let these things settle down. Wouldn't mind seeing it. I mean, I don't want to see a 375 because we're long now, but it wouldn't surprise me if we do get a little bit of a move down here as we wait for you, Michigan. Expected 48.5. Right there for April. So we'll get that tick coming in just a matter of 2 minutes as we look for a little bit more action there. All right, so IBIT, I mean, still honestly, Bitcoin not doing a whole lot.
Is the small capper halted?
I was going to say MXL.
No, not them. It's ENVB. This was a runner yesterday that gave up the move instantaneously, and it's up 35%, very light volume, less than 1 million shares, but it's a post-split breaker. Sometimes these can get out of hand for sure. So it's a 5-minute halt, or if it doesn't open in 5 minutes, ENVB should open in 10. AMD did bounce. Just heavy bounce off VWAP. That's a lot of
really okay.
That should have been, maybe that should have been a long. Where's Intel? Maybe Intel's like a trend. Nah, Intel didn't even fill that gap.
Maybe this market does want to give this all back. I mean, I don't know.
All of it?
I don't know. The Nasdaq, no.
That was just a lot of buying on AMD.
Tesla, so MXL right now, I was going to say, like, I want to look at Tesla because we're coming up into our 375 area that we're going to get pretty soon right now. So then we don't want that to lose. If this breaks 374, we're out of Tesla. So that's going to be a problem there. But that's why you got to take that profit early, and we don't want to average in too hard to it, but there we are. We're now in our final bit. So that's my average price, 377. We're going to roll with that. All right, so MXL, good move, man. Right off VWAP again. Big name bouncing off VWAP right now, MXL. So, all right, man, the number time. Let's go see what's going on with you, Michigan. We got 15 seconds.
So again, guys, the preliminary print for this number was a record low for the metric. That was 47.6. We are expecting, as Sean mentioned, 48.5. So a slight improvement here. 5-year inflation expectations, 3.4% estimate. 1 year, 4.8% estimate. 49.8 here for that UMich consumer sentiment. That's going to be above the forecast of 48.5 and well above the last print of 47.6. So better than expected. The 5-year inflation expectations a little bit higher than they were previously. So previous and forecast for that print was 3.4%. Actual print coming in at 3.5%. They're expecting a little bit hotter 5-year inflation, but the 1-year inflation expectation a little bit cooler, 4.7% versus 4.8% prior. So overall, guys, to kind of summarize these numbers, consumers are honestly comparatively much more excited and enthusiastic and hopeful about the economy than they were earlier in April. They are expecting lower inflation on a 1-year basis, but 5-year inflation expectations do remain pretty high. QCOM on watch. I pulled up this chart and not Intel because I think it just shows the breadth of this rally when it comes to these sympathy plays. But QCOM here up, I think it highs well over 12%. No salient news catalyst of its own that I could find, but trading in sympathy with the likes of, AMD, SockCell, as we have INTC coming out with a much better than expected earnings report and really strong guidance. TSLA, on the other hand, strong start to the session, now pulling back a little bit. I know Sean was involved in this name to the upside, so congrats to Sean on that trade. And congrats to Elon Musk and Tesla because they've announced that their Cybercab is finally beginning production. This has been long awaited. Also, day 2 earnings play, and they got the nod from Lip Bhutan, CEO of Intel, during their earnings call yesterday. So please make sure to like. Please make sure to subscribe. And please make sure to stick with us. We're going to send you over to the guys.
Tough trade there. Tesla does break that 374, we get back in as it holds it, but still wish that never had happened. There's MXL there. Oh, here's Tesla again. It does break our level. We do get back in. So although this is up $1, we did lose on our last reload there. So not too much to go on there. We did talk about this earlier, and it's trade the pool. Markets have been extremely active lately. For traders, this kind of environment creates opportunity. Big moves means more setups, more momentum. But to really take advantage of these conditions, you need two things: discipline and access to, of course, capital. And that's where trade the pool comes in. Instead of being limited by the size of your own account, traders can access firm capital and focus on executing their strategy and managing risk. No more fear of blowing up your own personal account. No more moving your stop loss too early because you're worried about your own savings. This is what we call limited risk trading. So if you want to take advantage of the volatility in today's markets without risking your own capital, visit tradethepool.com or scan that QR code. Well, make sure you should scan that QR code right now to grab 10% off, and we all like those deals. So thank you, Trade the Pool, for giving our viewers that opportunity. So 10% off, scan that QR code, and let's get down with Trade the Pool. So, all right, man, so we'll have to wait for that to go through. Ching, ching.
TPS reports, you can see the cyber cabs from the highway in the parking lot at the Gigafactory here in Austin.
Yeah. Cyber cabs.
Show me. I also want to see the Optimus robots walking around, showing that they're actually doing things. There's some aggressive things that came out of that call, right? For sure, from Elon. Although it was weird. He made aggressive targets, but he also was pretty tentative in some ways as well. A bit different from Elon. So AMD's bounced pretty strongly. Yeah, I'm gonna say I'm not sure this one's a short again. Maybe it is, but it'll be one without me. Like the buyers off of that higher low were just, it's intense. Like how quickly they were just coming in there. And Intel did not quite get to VWAP either. I think if this gets to the volume weighted average price, that could be a place for reload. I was just staring down for some reason, wanting to get back into IBIT if it broke the trend. Right, but it's not. Like it's still heading lower. It's like, well, you got to get VWAP, let it get down to one of the lows, let it get to a support level, and then try it. At this point, we'll just sit on the next opportunity for AMD or maybe ARM, because if I can find something, ARM is too strong as well. Like look at how quickly these things caught a bid. Like exactly when it hit these bottoms. AMD did the same thing. It just shot higher. I feel like that's the wrong thing to fade. There's got to be better shorts out there. For sure. That'll lead me to silver. SLV could be an opportunity if it wants to load. Yeah, this was a good sell. This was a good sell off of 69, and it couldn't get there today. So I think this could be one. If the market's not going to hold, then this is potentially breaking trend underneath VWAP, underneath resistance. You're not getting any of those crazy edges either. And then the second I pull up saying it's a trend break downside, it bounces and goes higher. Go figure.
Tesla bleeding, it's going to break 373. So Tesla, we talked about these sort of V-shaped plays that Tesla can do. We're just going to try, okay, here it goes. Oh, there it goes. We're just going to try it against that low of the day. And so there it goes. We got to slap some fails on Tesla, man. Gave back what we made there on TSLA, but at least it was at a good level. Like, I don't think, we didn't really average in too strongly there, but it was just this last one there, on TSLA. So, didn't absorb that play properly, and it just fell back in. The problem is, like, I want to go long on things, but the Nasdaq's. Let's go back over to Intel.
USO's breaking down.
USO's breaking down. Okay, like I'm still not even really hearing that much news here about anything yet. We did get obviously with Adara back there breaking us that Michigan number there at 50, so that was a little bit better than expected. But for right now, yeah, Intel trying to catch some bids, but like nothing really spiking up on the scanners there.
Oh my goodness!
Like Tesla might have found I don't know if Tesla found a bottom or not.
All right. This is not a name that we talked about, but I was just scanning through some things that were moving yesterday. SMR got woodshedded, and it's just right at, this all morning. This is exactly where it bounced. Yesterday, it dropped $2 from the highs on SMR, from 1460 to 1220, and it's at 1220 again. So there's support. If you like trend reversion trades, if this holds this bottoming tail candle, yeah. That would be a trend break. And that's an if. Like it has to hold a double bottom, break back this high, and then just look for a long reversion trade. So I can't find, like AMD's not a reshort. That bounced too heavily, so I'm not going to get back into that. Could be a one and done, as strong as that's been. And similar thing with ARM. I thought maybe that could be a pullback. Intel won't get to VWAP, so I'm just looking at SMR currently. And remember, the IPO today is a nanonuclear, it's a sort of small modular reactor name, that XE. So you will potentially see some sympathy in the overall space if and when that does open up. I mean, it'll open up, it just won't be anytime soon. It's only 10 o'clock. Still plenty of time in the day.
Dollar lower. Yeah, no, lots of stuff going on here today. I don't just want to look at Tesla. It is trying to bounce back. I wonder if these are, the lows maybe in, but I don't know, like that Cybercab stuff. I mean, there's not really a catalyst behind Tesla today. It was just that huge runner early, and then we stuck with it. So this is, we talked about this name getting lower. I was saying I was fearful of some of the Palantir stories out there, and just, Anthropic, and there goes Palantir looking to break through the lows as well. This could be a short. I'm thinking the market might just be a short now into Friday. I mean, it's a big week. We continue to go a little lower here on some big names. But all right, we'll go to Adara, and then I'm thinking about maybe shorting the Nasdaq with the TQQs here or something. So let's go over to Adara.
This isn't stock specific or necessarily market moving, but it certainly is sentiment, and I think it's important to note. ABC reporting that the DOJ is very likely to drop its criminal probe of Fed Chair Powell. Now, this dropping of the probe clears the way for the confirmation of Kevin Warsh, who had his confirmation hearing earlier this week on Tuesday as the next chair of the U.S. Federal Reserve. If I get more details, I'll let you know, but it does look like DOJ reportedly expected to drop its probe into Powell. Back to you.
Hilarious. Thank you, Adara. I was just telling Sean, like, if things like Intel
Tesla
and ARM weren't going, I'd be, like, I sold like 80%. I held AMD for a long time. I sold 80% of it at 250. And if it wasn't for ARM and Intel, I'd be crying, probably. But the market, like I said, the market looks like it's trying to bounce. AMD just got back to the highs. Here, I'll show you like this. I don't want to get off this SMR because it could hold this trend break any second, but AMD is right back up to the top. Like that short pulled back into like this prior bar at the open, and then that was it. Unbelievable insanity that we're seeing in some of these chip names. But the market is not moving. You've got outsized moves in some nuclear names, you got outsized moves in some of the chip names, and you got the Nasdaq like narcoleptic, like it's falling asleep. Well, I don't know.
Yeah, the Nasdaq is trying to.
If you have narcolepsy, I'm not trying to dig at you. I'm just saying. Oh, I'm just anybody.
No offense taken in the back there. Yeah, so right here, TQs. It's just so crazy because like there's our stop out there on Tesla, and now it's right back to 375. So it's like all these buys at the lows, seem to have been good, except for when they broke. And I mean, that's what, if you're going to play off that and it does break the low, sometimes you want to give it a little bit more room. But I mean, we got out at 372, looks like 75. It does tick down to 372.30. So yeah, I mean, it would have been nice to hold out for a little bit more of a, I guess, a little bit less risk there. We could have waited. I'm just trying to think about like how to do better next time, like into yesterday's lows, but who knows? There goes Tesla right now back up to the upside. So, all right, I'm going to give this one to 61.50. I mean, I don't want to put on back-to-back losing trades here, but we are short right now at 61.15 into the Nasdaq here. It does come up to VWAP. That's basically why we shorted it right into there. We got an average price of VWAP now, so we're doing okay. VWAP's right about here 20, so we're a little off on that. Our first trade was right into there at 61 when it came in there off to that upside, and then we get it just ahead of our 200 period, so that makes me happy at least that we're able to grab that price. And now it's trying to pull back just a little bit here with the TQQs. So let's just put a bid back sort of where we started this whole, position back down there near 61. We'll see if we're able to do that. Yeah, and then Tesla, we just said rips right back up to the high side right now, looking to see what kind of damage they want to put on here, breaking back through 375. We're now hoping Tesla goes downside because why? We have the short in the market. So if that hits, that's good. Netflix went on a real good run early, man. We talked about that. And then it didn't do too much else after that. Similarly to Tesla, nice pullback from 93 back in. This could be, again, a nice little spot to look at if you are a Netflix trader right there, bouncing off of 92.70, now trying to go just a bit higher. We do have MXL was the looker earlier on today, as well as that name looks like it wants to keep getting higher here as well. 56 bucks. It was up to 74% right now. This could be a decent level. You're right at VWAP for MXL, so potentially something to look at there with that name.
Yeah, you can find that MXL.
Yeah, I was going to say.
You can find it on our stock visualizer. Just a reminder, hey, Marathon Hunter, or maybe Carlos in the chat. Remember, when you're typing in symbols, not to call you out, I looked in the chat and saw a few. I make the mistake too of not putting the dollar sign in front. If you use the dollar sign, like say $MXL, because that's what Sean was just talking about, then you'll see that drop in. You'll get an extra vote in here. See how it just popped up and past SMH. You got Tesla, AMD, Intel. There's a shocker. SOXS, Qualcomm had that crazy move. Amazon we talked about. Ooh, see, there you go. This is why I love the visualizer. LIDR.
These stocks are off.
47%. There you go. I had no idea, and that's why we use the visualizer, so that we as a community can see what is interesting, what people are excited about. And as usual, the second I decide to look at it, it loses VWAP, the gapper. So once again, I am a bit of a jinx because I'm looking at it too late. So apologies there. But 47% for LIDR. Again, keep the symbols coming in and remember to use the dollar sign. So first area on this trend break on SMR is to just play it into, it's 1245, but it's really this level in here. It's like there to that resistance spot. If it breaks out there, then I'll look at the 65 and then VWAP. And if it gets to VWAP, I am all out, almost 100%. I would get it. I'm just going to get on the offer. There's no chance I want to hold this through VWAP. Like, look at this. Look at the actual chart on SMR. That's a bearish looking chart. False breakout yesterday, lower highs. So I want to take this inside of the range or the bottom end of the range and try to bank the profit if we can. You got to be kidding me, AMD.
The market's just ripping. Is that what AMD is doing?
The all-time high.
There you go. There we go. Yeah, the market is off here again.
Unbelievable.
I'm trying to go short, not working out here at all.
Microns of over 500 again.
Sometimes the best thing to do, man, is just to play the trend. I mean, we did think that Tesla was going to be something, but there's the market. It almost took us out, like right there, 6150. Huge move higher. You're now above VWAP. You're starting to go again here on the TQQs. So either you believe the move or you don't. And it's just like underneath here, I'm thinking it's a short, right? Because we have, the high there. We have a lower high coming in. We made the move back in. We bounce again off of, the 50 period, come back in, try to get lower. I guess maybe the rejection of that low, but pretty choppy early, and then just thought that, hey, if we do make a move up, maybe the retracement is back in, but it's saying no to that right now hard as the TQ's doing their little bounce again. Nothing's really hitting on the scanner, so I'm glad that we went over that little look there. We can go over to NVDA again, just to have a quick look. I know this is held in a lot of people's accounts, and this is kind of the choppiness again with Nvidia here. 203.
It only needs to get to like
what is the all-time
$270 to make me feel better about
that versus AMD.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not going to be happening
anymore. No, I know it's not going to be happening.
But yeah, I mean, that goes to show you, right? PE is not everything.
It's not. It is.
PE of Intel.
Momentum.
And Intel, actually.
Intel's still losing money, by the way.
Okay, so we did it. Are they? No, no.
No, on a gap basis.
On a non-adjusted basis.
It's on an adjusted basis. Like
right. Because I saw
they lost $4 billion.
Yeah, I saw the 29 cents there, but yeah, I don't know. That's good old Lip Bhutan over there.
It doesn't matter.
All right, there it is. Let's go, man. Let's ring a little bit of register now as we get some chicken dinner winners back. Now as the market does give a little bit of a pullback in here, so we're happy to see that, of course, coming through now on the old account there. We did have a super chat. I just heard a little ding action over there. Oops, maybe it's gone. Heard it, seen it, gone right now.
No, there is one.
Is there one? Okay. If you get that super chat back up, Andre, we'll have a quick little look over there. We want to welcome Tiffany to the group. We talked about that earlier as well. Okay. Oh, there it is. David, what's up, man? Not gaslighting, but the Beyond Immerse sending had to check some boxes. I'm going to send signature required. Yes, that's fine. I would say just message us at I don't know if you've done this already. Marketing at tradertv.live, and we'll be able to get you the right people that should, be able to receive that.
When it comes, we're going to obviously be on the show.
Yeah. Just do that. Let us know. Send that out there, David. So marketing at tradertv.live, and we will be able to help you out with who to get that into there. All right, so a little bit of a cover there, but we only got out of 15%, something like that on that move down, because I really do think that there's a chance this goes higher, but it's not a good chance, it looks like, as the market has bounced once again, clean off VWAP, and right back up to the upside. So people saying, Shopify, what's up to you there, Barton? Again, there in the chat. Yeah, Shopify's been a decent name, I think, for many traders this year, but downside, there's the bids. Oh, you're probably going short there on Shopify, I guess. There's the bids that came in there at 110. Nice move. This is why I say it was decent. Up to 133, but it's caught in a channel here, to me, it looks like, on Shopify. Obviously, when you go 135 right there, not really quite getting to your 200 period, and then caught back down there at 110 as well. So, yeah, some good trading there. I don't know which way you were there, Barton, but that's a good one there for Shopify. Caught in the middle, buying dips, selling rips there on Shop seems to have been a good way to do it there. So thanks, David. Yeah, want to make sure your box is checked as well. Sending email, yeah, perfect. Check, send it out. We want to make sure that we receive what you send, and we'll take care of everything from that side. All right, so Microsoft.
How the cheese is going?
Just the cheese business? Yeah, probably.
I haven't heard. We haven't heard from our cheese.
Must not be going great. Must not be going great. Yeah, Microsoft just with a tick down there for 418, gaps into 418 actually. So it was kind of cruising, then a little bit of a gap down there on Softy. We start to pull back. We did see Apple earlier was a snoozer down. Okay, well, bounce right back up off that 370 level again for Apple. So that had to move down there. So we'll have to see what's going on with Apple. That's now make a move back. Next week is full. I don't know if Adara has I actually have to go to TTV research.
It is a big time.
So it comes out, the weekly one comes out at 3 p.m. on Friday. So it will be released at 3 p.m. on Friday. We have, and I've never seen this before, 4 Mag 7 names reporting the same day. Most I've seen is 3. So that is actually going to be significant here. We do have 4 Mag 7s.
Is that Tuesday?
That's going to be Wednesday.
Wednesday, okay.
It's
Wednesday.
4?
It is 4. I was
Wednesday.
shocked as well, Neil. You're going to get Softy, Meta, Amazon, and Google, and then Apple as it does 4:30 p.m. on a Thursday because it likes to make us stay extra late.
Yeah, because we don't usually get all the hyperscales. Usually you'll have one of the, it's Google and Meta are never the same because you get one of the advertising heavy businesses, and then you get to see the earnings. I think it's usually Meta first, and then you get Google after.
It's usually Google first, and Google sometimes will be a week early, Neil. Like last quarter, Google was actually before Tesla, which is the only time I've ever seen that.
Okay, well, yeah, it's a little bit of a surprise. But it doesn't really make a difference. Also, keep an eye on Sympathy and Snapchat. Remember, Snapchat's been getting some interesting movement.
Really?
They still think they need to get bought, but
yes, that was the whole point. I used to be into Snapchat before that reason, and then it's never getting bought up though.
Well, it's
$5.
He's a big Snapchat guy, so he's like the Snapchat fan.
Mm-hmm. My kids use Snapchat
No, but the problem is Meta's doing a competing product now. And one of the bad things for Snapchat would be, well, in theory, if you think that they're going to get bought, who's going to buy them? Meta would have been a potential suitor. And if they're doing their own competitor, that's one less opportunity for them to get out of the bottom with a buyer. So if they throw cold water on that in the call in Meta, that would be a buy for Snapchat. If that ends up being not that big of a deal, just like a Snapchat competitor. Anyways, back to trade for a second. There was a topping tail here on silver, but what I said was trade the trend break. So there's a topping tail, got in, it's kind of a rule break, so I should wait for the trend break. I end up getting it at a better price, but I'm not gonna give it to the high because I'm breaking the rule. I'll give it to the 90 and make it try a little bit more reasonable, and then it should be a trend break entry point. So again, I see the topping tail, you get excited. The market is looking like it wants to hold on to this VWAP. That's not the time to break a rule on a short and get out of hand. I'm completely, what's the word? I'm flabbergasted.
That's a good word.
With what's going on with some of these chip names. Like I came in thinking this was it was a profit-taking event kind of deal. AMD's at another all-time high, just another wick. It's completely insane. So, like I said, I probably broke a rule there on silver, so I'm just going to tighten up the stop, and if it doesn't break the trend, then I'm not getting back in. I want to see this break the trend, and then we can go into the short. Let's go back up to Adara. It's already time for the small cap recap.
I'm going to say a couple clarifying things first. So for one, I had mentioned earlier that ABC was reporting that DOJ is going to drop its Fed Chair Powell probe. They just confirmed they will. So Fed Chair Powell no longer investigation from the DOJ over the Fed building. Now this again does clear the way for Kevin Warsh's nomination as the new Fed chair to get confirmed. TTD I'm also seeing apparently mentioned on a short squeeze note. A little bit of a pop here, but it's just Barron saying that TTD could be a decent short squeeze play, a la what happened with Avis, etc. It seems to be incredibly speculative, but the stock does seem to like it as of right now. Last but not least, Neil, that Snapchat competitive product coming from Insta, apparently that's only going to be rolling out in Italy for now. So it probably will not be this quarter when we get like a sense of how well it's done because it's only rolling out in one country. Let's start here with ELPW, E-Long Power. This stock has been on watch quite a few times. It's been one that has rallied on and off for the last probably couple months or so. $5 million market cap, no news on this name. Then we get FCHL. This is Fitness Champs Holdings. Only catalyst I saw in this was back on Monday. Univest Securities closed the public offering for FCHL, but the news here in FCHL is going to be their float and their short float. So this company here, $210,000 market cap. So very small market cap. You've got a float here of 350,000 shares, and I'm seeing a short float on FinBiz of 292%. So massive, massive short float on FCHL. I know not a ton of movement intraday, but given that stat, I did want to keep you posted. Last but not least, another one that's below pre-market highs, but has been moving a lot lately. It's CTNT. This is a penny stock, $1.6 million market cap, float here of 36 million shares. Back to you.
What was that symbol you said with the huge short float?
FCHL.
FCHL. Okay. That can't be that high. It's not even moving though.
FCHL. No, here's another one. We got a super chat. I want to say thank you. I don't know if you already covered it here. Enveric Biosciences, ENVB. There's Nike. Okay, there's ENVB. Thank you, Quickie boy. Quickie boy. Oh, we did cover some TQQs down here at key level. We could talk about that in a minute. Dara, ENVB up 60% right here and absolutely flying. So this name, ENVB going. I can look, yep.
They filed a prospectus yesterday after the bell related to a resale of 6.8 million shares of common stock.
Okay, so there you go. With a short float of only 3.6% and a float of only 2 million shares. ENVB here. Giving it to you today. That's a nice move. A couple halts early as soon as we opened up pretty much. I mean, well, not as soon as, but 9:50. Nice little halt there, and then a halt again at 10 o'clock. And we're starting to go upside right now on ENVB. You always do want to sort of zoom out to see like what's going on with that. There's obviously some sort of a reverse split, 70 cents, yeah, 10 to 1. Looks like they're on the reverse split. So watch out here. We've already been up here late last year in and around these areas. So you could be looking at a $7 potential slowdown there for ENVB. So I would, definitely look at that level. I mean, it's up to you guys what you're doing with it. The levels go back and forth here, but at least we zoomed out. We saw that $7 mark there for ENVB, and now we just, thank you for the super chat and wanted to make sure that we had a note on that one for you. So thanks, Adara, for all that on that prospectus filing. Okay, TQQs just came back in again. We didn't get the bid this time. I was at 61.16s. Our average price, we were saying, I don't know what it was, 30, what are we at right now? We're at 30s, but pretty good there. We did take it early place there. We were not lucky, but it does come up here, give us a price just before 50s, and sometimes you get shut out, sometimes you don't. Just like where we got stopped out at the low of the day on Tesla, fail on that one. We just missed it. We were bidding 16s. It went down to 16 and bounced off of us. We'll still sit there, see if we get that fill one more time there for the TQQs. As now, okay, here it comes. Hopefully it does come back in just a bit. We're able to get that. This is that low of the day, what I'm talking about on Tesla right there. It's too bad. We could have got, I was sitting here watching and I was like, do we get back in? Do we get back in? But you don't want to throw good money after bad, so we didn't do it. But good move early on Tesla. Able to take it out on the second reload up there, but then gave some back there, gave it back when we lost through. So now we'll wait to see what happens with Tesla. I wouldn't mind the market coming back in. We're looking for that fill on the Nasdaq right now, down into here. Again, we're at 16s. There it is. We get this time, so there you go. So see, hands off. So at least I was sitting there. And then we'll wait now for 61 and then lower into the bid here for the market. So the TQs is the Nasdaq and it's triple levered. So it's not like trading the futures, but it's close enough. USO right there, just kind of doing its own thing right now. It looks like nothing right now on oil, but still really nice. I mean, I'm surprised that today we can come in and say the Nasdaq's at all-time highs and USO is minutes away from breaking its recent high. So that's kind of strange, but there's USO right now doing its own thing.
The chips are too strong that if it's not going to move, it won't matter.
That's the thing. It's either their chip names or it's not, I guess.
The chips are so, like, the strength is holding up in the market based on the chips. Like, as the chips pull back, I think you lose the entirety or the majority of this move.
I can see that.
Especially with what we're seeing. So two things are, well, one already.
Let's go futures.
That's going to be SLV and SMCI. So the SMCI double topped. We let it fill in a little bit more of the gap into here and there. And now we're taking that one to the sell side. And then also SLV, which I've done a better job of not saying silver because you guys always get on us for that, saying that it is not actually spot silver, but it's currently breaking the trend line. So I'm entering the shorts here. And if AMD loses it, if Intel loses it, if ARM loses it, any one of these like super strong ones, I just feel like we're headed back into some of those lows. And they're really starting to top out. Like look at ARM, all of the volume is starting to taper off a little bit, the momentum's slowing down. Intel's actually holding a downtrend. AMD, similar, like it's getting a little bit top heavy like it wants to turn. So it seems to make sense to me. If we flush from here, it should drag the market down because it's not as if there was an abundance of strength in other places. Like we talked about Amazon with that Meta deal. I think they were the only non-chip Mag 7 that was looking incredibly strong, and it just put in a topping tail candle as well. So I'm thinking curl at this moment. So we jumped into a couple of unrelated things, one of them SMCI, which actually is a chip name, and then silver. Lindenmeyer will car retrace to 300 today? 300? It was at 220. I mean, I guess it's possible, but I wouldn't be betting on that.
No.
I mean, like, anything is possible with this stock, but $300, huh? Yeah. If we put a poll up, I'm pretty sure 95% of people would say no on that one. But again, who knows with this stock? It's completely insane. But there was a structural aspect to that squeeze because it was two firms that owned like 82% of the float. They soaked up the entire float and then even had like some synthetic positions out of it. What was weird, and we were talking about this yesterday, is as crazy as that was, up until I think it was yesterday, it was free locates the whole time here at Real Trading. Until for Avis. Until things were going ham to the downside. That's when the demand for the shorts got too high.
Not to call anybody out over here, but here's, but I'm going to do it anyways. Here's Thantos. Wow, Trader TV deleted my question about Intel. Shameful. Okay, so I just looked up here, so I'm trying to find something out here. Just get ready for this. So here it is. So I'm trying to find out where was there a deleted comment here, right? And then here's Thanatos himself right here. You see what this word says? Message retracted. Bruh, come on, bruh. Bro, don't call us out and then let me find that, my guy. Right over there. So, all right. We're all about integrity, so hopefully you are too, Thantos. And you can put it back in. If there's a question.
If you accidentally.
We're not deleting anything, man. We're just, if there's a question that comes in, we would love to answer it. We just have to make sure that it's, not, and it's just whatever YouTube's doing. But it's just, it's an algorithm that scans for, you guys know, the bad words that you're not allowed to say. Pretend like it's, that YouTube's the parent and you're the kid. So you got to make sure that you are in line with all of that. But there it is, man. So, we could get rid of messages, but we're not. So there you go.
It would have to be super egregious for us to.
So sorry to call you out on that one, but maybe you retracted it by accident, or maybe it was a different one. I don't know. So that's what that is right there. And just put it in again, Thantos, and we'll see what happens, and hopefully it can go through. All right, so that's that.
Now people are trolling with bad words, just so you know.
Yeah. Who knows? Right there. All right, so that's what that is. We got some great moves down on the Nasdaq. So we couldn't be on the TQs again. So again, this is a triple levered Nasdaq product. Their nice move back in as we do take VWAP finally. We did get right back into the teeth of this sort of early support area. And then now we're just going to wait a little bit lower. We're out of half, exactly half. So we've done really well to try to hold this. And remember, our stop was about 20 cents. We said it was 61.50s. So if that winds up hitting, that's fine. So right now we're just over 1-to-1. So, if we can get some more action. And I'm not trying to trade this 1-to-1, 2-to-1, 3-to-1. I'm just trying to look at some key levels. So 60.80 right there today. We can get something, maybe 60.90s or so. Where am I bidding? I'm actually bidding 60.90. So hopefully that can come in and we'll deal with that once that gets going right there. Microsoft, we did have, Brendan brought us a story there of Michael Burry and Microsoft. You could see a move down here today for Microsoft. A nice start to the day up to 420, 421. What up, Adara?
For what it's worth, CAR just halted to the downside. I think first halt of the day for CAR.
Okay.
Just a heads up for people, I guess.
All right, we do get, the Nasdaq now is making a move down. So we do get that fill at 90. Again, we were sitting there. So there's CAR, thanks, Adara. For Avis, there's the halt down.
I guess it's not going to 300.
But why did that halt down? Was that too much of a violent move? Was that I guess it must have been 630. This must be news pending.
There was a halt yesterday, a down halt that also didn't move enough.
Yeah.
At least one.
Okay.
I remember observing one and saying to myself, no, that shouldn't have halted. So I don't know.
We'll wait.
Sometimes the mechanism doesn't make sense to me.
While I was on vacay, though, we did get filled on some SoFi. So I got filled at 18, so I was trying to buy some more SoFi there. So it's just at the current level of 18. So no SoFi, no cry, because now we're into more of it. It does go up to 20. We are sitting at the 50-period moving average, put it a little bit higher. So there we got it yesterday, $18 there for SoFi. It started the day pretty good up to $18.60. A name that I like, I want to add that, again, more shares of that into the portfolio, SoFi. I think it's going to be a good one. Go Rams, who play out at SoFi Stadium, who take Ty Simpson yesterday to replace Bradford.
Tell me you saw.
I have no idea about it. I have no idea who
there was a McVay.
Oh, and he was loving it?
The head loving it.
I know, because he's smart, right? He wants another general. Oh,
you could actually see. Like,
because he wants Bradford.
It was awkward.
Oh, really?
Because they traded up, and it looked like maybe the head coach wasn't.
I thought he would have wanted someone because Bradford's done soon.
I think they must have wanted somebody that would help this year.
Yeah, maybe give him an O-line.
They're trying to go all in. I think he probably just wanted an offensive weapon, like another receiver or something.
I didn't see that.
But he didn't.
Our audio is off.
What?
There's something wrong with the audio, Fabian.
Audio, everybody.
Fabian, something's wrong with the audio right here in the chat. We will work on that, guys. Be patient with us right now, okay? All right, so we'll wait to see on that one.
Oh, it's for me, left speaker short, somebody said?
We can hear only the right side of the audio. Who knows? All right, I don't know if it was just multiple people complaining, so.
Yeah.
Okay, it's fine. All right, thanks, guys, for the refresh. We're hearing and we're getting told to refresh. Right there, if it's not right, okay? Left speaker, we're being told. Okay, good move down there on the TQs, man, bouncing right off of a nice little level there of 60.80, 60.90. We'll see if this continues to move down as, day 2 and NFL draft. And we say go Raptors as well as they beat the Cleveland Cavaliers there. And then Seattle with the 31st pick overall got Prince, right, that running back. So Jadarian, is it Prince? I think it was, out of Jeremiah Love's backup, right? So that one is, so now Notre Dame getting rugged themselves.
Oh yeah, by the way.
Losing some talent.
Remember who I said was a sleeper in an NBA?
Minnesota?
Timberwolves.
Who are they?
They're up 2-1 on Denver.
Oh, on Denver. What was the rank? What was the thing on that?
I don't remember what the odds were.
Okay.
It was I don't know what the actual Vegas odds were. On
I mean, you were picking. I mean, to
on
win
Kalshi, they were like 3%, or they were like 3 or 4% to win the NBA championship.
The funny thing is that's not even changed. You could probably go on and bet it right now.
But Kalshi doesn't update like that?
They will, but that doesn't matter. They won't, because they're still not beating OKC.
No, of course.
Right. So that's the problem and that's the thing with making future bets. You can't get out of them. Like, it has to win. You can hedge against every other team, but it's impossible.
Other betting platforms allow you to be able to cash in on certain bets, like in-game bets and that.
Yeah, that won't move enough yet there. All right, guys, there it is, man. Everyone's saying the audio is now fixed, so that's great. All right, thanks, Fabian, and everybody. Oh, that's a phone ringing over there. Okay. I was like, is that a new sound? All of a sudden, we got all these new situations happening around here.
We're hearing that.
No, there's a phone going off over there. Okay, so right in now. Let's check out MXL quickly. You know what? Actually, here, let's check out MXL quickly. I wanted to look over the broader market right now because right into here, we've had a decent day, as Neil and I was just talking about, where the Nasdaq has been going. Thank you to Nvidia, up 2% there. Tesla's pulled back into 373. We're short the market, but Amazon Amazon still bouncing, man. I mentioned Walmart as being like one of those names that is a tech kind of play as well, as they're building out their website. We do have logistics there going for Walmart. So we talked about that. That was around 121, 122. Obviously, as the rest of the market goes, oh, yuck. Eli Lilly, we said this could be a potential buy. I add some sort of a buy zone, but it doesn't look like it right now, as Eli Lilly down another 4.5% there today. And this is where I want to get more like interest in some of these names. Maybe John Deere being down 3% gets it to us. GEV and Caterpillar, like all these names just continue to climb every day. So a little bit of pullback there today. AMD, Intel's only up 22% now. So we've sort of been sleeping on that one on this market pullback.
NVIDIA just broke the HOD.
Yeah, but look at Nvidia, look at Intel. Intel's kind of getting faded a little bit here. I mean, it's hard to say that when you're up 22%, but watch out for a potential low break of 80.50 right now on Intel. So we'll go over to Adara, see what she's up to.
Yeah, for one here, another stock in that chip space, not at highs and actually breaking down intraday, is Qualcomm. So these chip names really seem to be kind of having a bit of a divorce move. They're not all moving together as they were earlier. Nasdaq, though, and oil going to be on watch. We get a post from the foreign minister of Iran, Argachi. He's saying that he's going to be touring Islamabad, Muscat, and Moscow for, quote, regional consultations. He said their focus is on their neighbors within the Middle East. Now, this is significant because when we first started hearing reports earlier today, we were hearing that, okay, he's going to be arriving in Islamabad. We know that because Pakistan's a mediator for Iran and the U.S. This was viewed as really exciting initially for the market and a bit of a bad look for oil. But it's not going to be talks with the U.S. It's purely just with Pakistan. He's making it very clear that this is going to be a regional tour regardless. So either way here, sounds like if you're hoping for some kind of U.S.-Iran negotiations through this visit to Pakistan today, unlikely we're going to get them, at least right now. Back to you.
Thank you, Adara. And then maybe NVIDIA is taking them higher, but SMCI broke the trend and then broke the high. And I just feel as if the chips are so, well, some of them, because Intel's really actually not at the high. It's only up 22% now. It was up 28. But NVIDIA now taking out the HOD. AMD's actually pulling back. So it's weird. Like, AMD's not as strong as you would have liked. ARM is still adjacent to that top. Just crazy, crazy price action. Intel actually did tag VWAP. Now you've got a bit of a trend trade on Intel. Here, I'm going to forget about
El Guapo VWAPO.
And only pay attention to from the open and then see if it can respect the trend line. SLV is still working with the same like trend break, waiting for it to get into the volume weighted average price and then work on whatever is next there. Oh yeah, I could have given you guys the tap on that IPO. I thought I saw it.
Oh, that's it. Was that what someone was asking before? I thought.
Shoot.
Where's it supposed to go? What's it supposed to? There, it's at the bottom. I just saw it. It was there.
If I sort by time, it'll go. It's only 170,000 on a buy and balance and only 1.8 million so far. So not a huge open interest on it, but certainly a good one.
Energy.
Oh, we just had a spike.
Oh, the cap is 30.
Yeah, $30.
What was the indicated thing there?
Yeah, let me go.
Okay, we'll find it. What's in our notes?
It was 23, low to mid 20s was the actual IPO issue price, and then the auction price is 30.
I'll take a little bit more up here. So the market, just so you guys know, we only have a third left of the Nasdaq.
USO just broke some support.
Yeah,
getting out of the short.
I heard that Kevin Warsh possibly now going to get through. So I don't know if that's part of the move up. We'll try it at the 200 period here of the TQs. But yeah, the market starting to go a little upside right here. What's up?
I think the market would like that certainty with the Fed.
Yeah, as I mentioned earlier, basically the second we got that confirmation from U.S. Attorney Jeanine Pirro that they're going to be dropping the investigation into Powell, it became very, very likely Warsh would get confirmed because the Powell investigation was basically the only thing barring certain senators from wanting to confirm him in the first place. Now, it's worth noting here, Jeanine Pirro also said that she will not hesitate to reopen the investigation into Powell, so this issue could come up again, but as of right now, the White House recently commenting that they said they're confident the Senate will, quote, swiftly confirm Kevin Warsh as Fed chair. Let's talk about the sector board, because it's really mixed. I mean, health technology, poor Eli Lilly, as Sean mentioned, trying to hold on to 875 right now, down 4.5% amidst some reports and speculation suggesting that its newest weight loss drug not performing as well as the company might have hoped. You've also got weakness in the likes of Regeneron, BSX, Boston Scientific, and Gilead. Consumer services, lots of weakness as well. Comcast, massive day one earnings move to the upside. Day two pullback to the tune of 7%. Health services, you've got HCA well off of lows, but still down 7% here on earnings day one. So again, you're continuing to see these earnings names really moving their sectors around. You've got consumer producer manufacturing, a little bit mixed here. AMAT and LRCX, they're both to the upside. Tech services, Meta and Microsoft, both strong here. Microsoft getting purchased by Michael Burry, and Meta with that team up with Amazon. But a lot of these software as a services names continuing to pull back. Oracle down 2.5%, AppLovin down 4%, Finance red as a group, and last but not least, electronic tech. Now, a lot of these names have pulled back from their intraday or session highs, but Intel still up 22% today, really leading the sector to the upside with strong performances from the likes of Qualcomm, AMD, and Micron in sympathy. Do make sure to like and subscribe if you enjoy the content, and stick with us every day the markets are open. Back to you.
It was always Adara, appreciated. Well, with the market getting this like Nvidia-led chip bounce, and it is very much Nvidia looking strong. I've got this little trend line from the open. So there's the open on Intel. If it can break above, I think this can also join the party. But AMD led the way, and maybe we're passing the baton. Gosh, I hope we're passing the baton to Nvidia. It would be nice. Wouldn't it be nice if Nvidia got the baton for a little bit and it went insanely ham? It hasn't had a red candle. The chip names have been, some of them strong, some of them weak all morning long. And like I look at the indecision, like AMD's pulling back as Nvidia is extending higher. So it's probably a mess if you're looking at the ETFs. Just understand, it seems like it's only Nvidia that's going. Like Broadcom was relatively
Nvidia's going nuts.
Yeah, like this, Broadcom's turning, but it's literally at the lows. If I had to make a guess, rotation.
Sorry, I think I accidentally muted.
I'd say it's like maybe some, all the, there's so much volume in Intel and so much volume in AMD right now that there's probably some take profits on those names, and then where's that money gonna go? We still believe in chips, AMD, or Nvidia.
I mean, you had mentioned earlier about that, right? And it was about the fact that you're saying, oh, only so many dollars left to go before we get there, right? And I was just gonna say, like, that's part of the problem, really, is the fact that there has to be some sort of a rotation. I said to Neil, like, don't worry, Nvidia will eventually get there. And I don't know if it will, who knows? But I was gonna say, like, there's gonna be a time where Nvidia eventually decides to go up. And, you know, that day is hopefully soon. But yeah, so you guys asked about XE before. Look, man, we have no idea when this thing's going to come to market, but its expected move was $23 to come out at, and now it's looking like $29.90 right here for XE. So as we get closer and closer, I mean, I don't know, for some reason, man, like I thought I made this little imbalance locator much bigger than I did, but I'm going to have to go find it. It shrunk down on you, so I got to go get that as I don't know if we went to a new version there and something changed, but XE right now, $29.90 right now coming through. So we'll have to watch out for that one. And then Adara dropped the news there. Michael Burry interested again in Microsoft. I'd like to read the story there about that. I mean, because I do know there's a lot of people excited for Microsoft and potentially seeing where that one's going to go out at and where this one's possibly going, because there's been so many new highs. Like, okay, so we need to get, like, I'm on the Nasdaq, which is obviously going higher here as it starts to breathe against us there. But there you go, man. I mean, Nvidia just straight fire in the booth. Up now 350 off that low. That was 205.50. Sorry, 202.50 right there. Gave you a nice little level, and then it was just like, see ya. So I don't know, man. And there's the reload here on the TQQs. We're gonna get stopped out where we do at 50. This is gonna be a good trade, you know, at the end of the day. It's fine. So we're gonna reload a little bit here because we don't want to stand in front of what is a freight train. I mean, if other names start going similarly to Nvidia, then we want to sort of stay a little bit away from that name. So we'll wait to see where it goes. But yeah, Nvidia right now up and away, and the TQ's trying to go as well. So just be careful with what we're trying to do here.
Yeah, and you're definitely, oh my God, DJK just said Intel 100 times earnings, Nvidia 20 times earnings.
Yeah.
But remember, Intel is going from not profitable to a profitable on an adjusted basis, and they actually still lost money. And when you're in that like part of the curve, you're never going to have reasonable valuations anyways until it starts to stabilize. But I get it; it is expensive, and maybe that's why you're seeing some of that rotation. But this is threatening to break an all-morning trend line here. It just doesn't want to do it yet. And the thing that's working I think that will be working for the longs too is USO is trying to break the shelf. And if it breaks the shelf in there, that's just another reason maybe to pop out of the shorts. But I'm looking for this little trend break here on Intel if it can get higher. Maybe there'll be a bit of a pullback in Nvidia and some of the money will come back in, but it's just an all-morning trend break that I'm waiting for next. It's just absolute insanity. I know cars halted again, but I'm not terribly interested in Avis. Like, it halted down, it halted up. It hasn't done anything insane. And maybe if it broke like $200, it would be a bit crazy, but it's going to be SSR, I think, again, because it was down another more than 10%, and you couldn't get those flat bottom breaks. Yesterday's trade, like if you were getting the obvious even dollar breakdown shorts, it would have been much, much better. But catching fills was nearly impossible, unless you sat there and let it run you through, which was not desired.
What is the all-time high here for Nvidia? Like, we're not
look at our chart's kind of.
Yeah, I'm going to try to look at e-signal here because I know there was an all-time high close. Yeah, 212.19 back in October.
Yeah, we got
October 29th. So we still got room up there. But yeah, there it is right there. I mean, those are wick highs. You know, you're looking to see if we can break through this level. Okay, there it goes. The TQs is going to come out. There it is. We just broke the high of the day on the Nasdaq. Wow, great trade for these longs. 208 right there, you know, breaking out on, I mean, Nvidia is just absolutely ripping right now to the high side. Potentially a pullback at some point here for Nvidia. I don't know to say that, but so far so good there on NVDA, up huge. As that XE, man, it keeps on bouncing back and forth. Now the tap is 28 bucks. So we got to wait to see if that hits as well on XE. But there goes NVIDIA up to 207. Might have got our first little candle higher right there. But okay, let's go back over to Adara.
We're going to have a new segment coming up soon, so I want to get through this money talks a little bit earlier and just give you guys some information because we do have some news specifically with our good friend, or he will become our good friend, potential Fed Chair, Kevin Warsh. Let's take a look here at this US dollar. I me98 this is literally giving up the exact same move that we got to the upside yesterday. Yesterday, our third straight green candle. Low of session here, 98.5, high 98.9. Now today, again, literally almost same high and same low. So very much range-bound trading compared to yesterday's session range for that DXY. We did get University Michigan consumer sentiment well above estimates, 49.5 versus the prior print of 47.5 and the estimates of 48.6. So good look here for the University of Michigan consumer sentiment print, trying to bounce here off of the weakest print in the metrics history. 1-year inflation expectations are a little bit, I believe, kind of in line with estimates, same with the 5-year, but for the 1-year and 5-year, you had like slight differences here. 1 year slightly cooler than expected, so 4.7% versus 4.8% expected. Looks like there's a little bit less near-term worry about inflation, but slightly more long-term worry about inflation as the 5-year inflation estimate comes in 0.1% higher than we were looking for. Here's a look at the FOMC, and I bring this up because we're going to get some changes to this calendar, or not calendar, but image pretty soon, I think, because Fed Chair Powell is going to be out. His term ends in mid-May 2026, and we actually had the DOJ, specifically U.S. Attorney Jeanine Pirro, announced this morning that the DOJ is closing its probe into Powell and the Fed Reserve renovations for now. She said they're willing to reopen them at any moment, quote, should there be information to warrant doing so. So you're going to have to wait and find out what that means. But either way, this does pave the way for Kevin Warsh's confirmation because we know certain senators were holdouts saying they wanted to wait until the investigation into Powell was cleared. White House already said this morning that they're confident that there is going to be that investigation, going to be that clearance here. Senators will, quote, swiftly confirm Warsh, and White House also saying that they think there could be potentially more investigation into Powell and the Fed as well later down the line. So interesting stuff here. If you want to see this updated infographic once Warsh gets confirmed, you can always check this out on X at TTV Research. Back to you.
Just a quick overview on Intel's earnings. So the stock is up 120% year to date, also 233% year over year. About the 14A terafab project with Tesla, it's funny, but in an interview with Bloomberg, They said that they haven't even begun considering the profits coming in from that project. We also had CEO of Intel, Lip-Bu Tan, saying that they're embracing their roots as a data-driven, paranoid, and engineering-driven company. Also, CFO of the company, David Zinsner, said there's an unprecedented demand for AI chips. Now, taking a look at this as well, we had comments from CEO Lip-Bu Tan saying that they're working very hard with the team to deliver, but they're short on supply due to the increasing demand coming in from customers. And finally, the stock is at an all-time high since the year 2000, when they did go down here a bit during their dot-com bubble. Its foundry business is also way ahead of expectations, along with 18A and 14A chips ahead of expectations. Sending it back to you.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, thank you, CF, for that one as we review some earnings plays. All right, so we'll take a little bit of an NVIDIA trade here and see what winds up happening with this short call. Up to 207.50, man. We'll give it a little bit of breath, see if we can get into there right now. But here it comes back in, now 30 cents in the money, but it's trying to get a little faded as we try to take, okay, here it goes. Okay, a little bit of a back end move there. Now 50 cents as we continue to try to go lower. We just got 70s there, so that was not bad. Let's just wait to see what happens now. We actually took it and we punched out at 207. Then it was starting to go back up to the upside a little bit. We took a little bit more. We're going to give it to 207.50, man. So we got to take a little bit off there as we come back in. We just took a quarter out for that 30 to 40 cents as we wait to see what's going on there with Nvidia. As Abdera mentioned, a lot of social media going flying about this name. And I just think it's the catch-up trade, right? Whether or not you like mustard or relish or ketchup, whatever. But that's that trade. And you could see AMD did take a little bit of a break while people ran to Nvidia. So maybe something going on there as well. So we'll wait to see if there's a little bit of a rotation there. And then Intel coming in from its lows, $80.50. We were looking to see if it was going to break that. It does not. And right now, Intel doing 130 million shares today. So big time shares going through there on Nvidia. So.
Both of them, NVIDIA and Intel.
Yeah,
well, Intel just broke the trend line.
Okay.
But also, like, silver re-broke the trend line down. Intel broke the trend line up. But then Intel's been counter trend to the market for most of the day. So I guess that makes sense. It's been one of those days where, like, you're not having complete correlation anyway.
There's some news there.
So there's trend break, there's prior bar, there's VWAP at 83. So that puts a target in there. EU and US form agreement on essential minerals.
That's not going to be good. I'm short here. Damn it, I don't want any more agreements.
Usually that would be good agreements. But as I said, like, I end up in the long and the short at the same time. Like, I've been in twice, and I'm not giving this to the HOD, which is usually the way I want to go with. And now the VWAP trend line just broke. So again, I'm going to give it to the prior bar above 90 and look for that flush back. Silver just doesn't want to break the highs and the point where the Nasdaq's been going up. I feel like I have to stay with this thesis. Like, you're breaking higher, SLV's got some relative weakness, so I just want to play alongside of that to explain, like, why I'm short when things are looking long. But VWAP's here in front of 83 even on Intel. I keep having to zoom back in and out because the Intel has this one crazy wick there, and every time I try to get rid of it, the cat came back the very next day. No, it's seriously, like, sometimes I get rid of it. Like, when you get rid of yours, they seem to go away, and then on my chart, it just pops right back.
Keep coming back in, eh?
That's not what you can do. So VWAP's at 83, just to give you an idea where we're looking for it. I thought we had a super chat that we missed, so I'm just going to double check. We only have about 5 or 6 minutes to go, and we're never intentionally missing super chats. But this is from T Brucker. But the ones sitting on the sidelines with cash, waiting for a crash, even a small dip, any advice? You know what? Like, I can only tell you how, when I have no clue where the dip is going to be, what I do. The stocks that I want, I just start, like, I either do one or two things. I throw, like, some stink bids in there, or you suck it up and you buy the dip that you get instead of the one that you're hoping for. Like, I got a horrible dip buy price on Meta. In retrospect, at the time it looked horrible, but it looks better now. But I remember when Meta was looking like poor, and I'm like, okay, well, I don't own a lot of this one. It's actually, I think I own the least of Meta in all the Mag 7. And when it was, load up more than that.
Well, that's
Thank you,
part of it. I
Chuck.
mean, it's hard to make calls when it's.
No, so like when we're in that crazy dip, like last year, and then again in here in the beginning of January, like they don't look all that good, and you just sort of stick it in when it does like a trend break like this, and that seemed like it was a good enough bottom for me. And then it looked good for a bit, then it looked terrible. But if you're holding it for the long term, you just want to get that cash in. Sometimes it's just about deciding that if you like it, maybe get in 20% one place, and the next quarter get another 20% or something along those lines can help. It's not an easy thing, but what we have learned is that if you buy in the long run, when you buy quality companies and you're holding for the longer term, you zoom out far enough and it looks much, much better.
Yeah, so I make.
I do that looking at the stupid Intel chart.
Yeah,
as if this is indicative of what the market should be like.
You got to just get your shopping list out, right? We talked about, like I was saying, even when we talked about Sharif there with Broadcom versus MRVL, I was like, well, Broadcom's a great company. Like eventually there's going to get, some pushback for companies. And just like Tesla went down to what, 320 today? Or not today, back in the day. And now all of a sudden it's back up to 380 again. So, you just got to try to, Tesla might be a different beast because they're kind of changing the game a little bit. But there we go with Tesla, right now 376. So as you can see, like there it was, maybe not 320, or maybe it did get there, yeah. 320, 324, something like that on TSLA as we continue to go.
That VWAP though.
This is an interesting name here. That's what I was looking at. That's why I actually thought about it. Bouncing. I was thinking actually maybe about going short, but this market is just took out the highs again right there. So you got to watch out for this market. Just keeps on climbing, as does I'm still short on the TQs right into these levels here. Just thought that Nvidia would slow down, but it did not. So Nvidia continues to go higher here as well. It's IBIT that's sort of been disappointing today, I feel like, for most. I mean, it's kind of been pretty flat considering the market went up and down and around. This actually came into yesterday's sort of support areas there. So maybe IBIT on a lookout as well. There could be something going on there. But yeah, that's just what's going on now with this market. And still, Microsoft's interesting. I want to see what Michael Burry was saying. We did say that Palantir today was not the most, best looking name out there, but Microsoft still trying to, Palantir trying to rebound, down, still almost down that 1% there at the lows. Nice battle back, must have been more than 1%. Still hitting under VWAP. So it kind of looks like that Tesla, right? You have VWAP right into here. It's really absorbed it all the way through into 147 and change right now for PLTR. Sorry, 141, not 147. Right there with VWAP. So watch out for that one coming into play here. Palantir, maybe a short during the midday, but they may be on names like MXL, which is starting to go there. Just broke the highs there, MXL.
You trading that?
Well, he's just sitting down now, so he'll see if he's going to be on that soon. MXL, and there it is, man, $62 taking out MXL at the highs. And then there was a few other ones that we got. We got ENVB was quite a nice little runner there. And Veric Bio, now halted.
Again?
Halted the downside right now, ENVB, so Veric Biosciences.
And then,
halted.
Of course, there's everyone's favorite squeeze stock, which, remember when CAR was halted down? And it halted up. It's now through VWAP. It is now green on the session. Avis is back in the green. Well, when I said I didn't think it was going to 300, what do I know? It bounced off $200. Anything is possible. Anything is possible, although I'm still feeling like that's a little bit unlikely, $300.
Although not that possible.
You never know. It's only up 1%. It's down a bajillion percent from the highs. I do that tool thing and show you, but I don't think it's worth it. There you can
trust the tool.
$850 to whatever 200 ends up being the total retracement on Avis. So that all day, there you go. That all day trend break dipped, and then we're trying to get VWAP in here at 83, and then SLV is the only two things I'm in. It's trying to dip into VWAP, which I thought I was bidding, and obviously I am not. So I'm going to get some bids down in front of the volume-weighted average price here on SLV. And if it breaks VWAP, then look for a next target like 68.3, something along those lines. You just mentioned that Tesla at VWAP. There's a topping tail candle. This looks like it could be a bit of a reversal. That holds under VWAP, but that might end up being a short. And just for an update, that XE, 20 still says open at $29, the indicated auction price. The buy and balance is minuscule. 320,000 shares on it here. I can show it to you guys. 320,000 shares to buy. I mean, that's good, not great though. I feel like the best ones have had like a 1 million share buy imbalance on an IPO. But it's a nuclear name, so it's in like the hype sector. The only issue with that is it's not like that sector's been that great today. Like SMR has had a huge pullback. Either way, I think it's going to be an interesting IPO. We don't know when it'll open up. Sometime between now and when we come back at 2 o'clock, I promise you it'll be open. We've never seen one. Well, I don't think we've ever seen an IPO that was after 2 o'clock. It's been close, but I don't think it's ever been that bad. Oh shoot, we didn't do what's for lunch.
I don't have the menu.
I do.
So we could do it. Okay, let's.
Yeah,
do
I was doing it all week.
Nvidia must have news. Let's go. What's for lunch? Because
Well, I have the button now. Thank you, Ramin. I finally got the button, and give me a second because I actually have to pull the email back up, as I already